Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the member stream. This is going to be a nice, chill one. We're here with Brian, Taladia, Rhea joined us. Thank you for maybe I baited here with the Nintendo subject.
that definitely helped. So yeah.
Brucifer, thank you for joining us. This is going to be a nice, casual stream. Lots of fun stuff to talk about. And yes, the Nintendo, leave it to the video game movie genre. Nintendo getting back into it is really a game changer. So I do kind of want to react to Grace to see what she says about it. And it's not slowing down. Because she also gets she's very, her movie math is my favorite part of her. She has some hot takes that are fun to react to, but her movie math, she does her due diligence. She gets all the facts. She gets the drops, and I'm interested to see what she's uncovered. Like, I don't even know what it obviously is going to have a drop from the first weekend, but how good of a second weekend did it really have, this Mario movie? And is it still getting good word of mouth? Is it still keeping enough of its initial audience to keep that money coming in? I personally have decided not to see the Mario movie in the theater, at least, but I will support it when it gets to VOD. I'll probably buy it when it gets to VOD, as soon as it gets to VOD, and we'll do a watch party, Brucifer, if you're up for that. And Brian,
Max is missing out, guys. Max is missing out.
Well, I'm gonna pay for it. I'll pay for it when it gets to VOD.
No, you're missing out on the experience of the theater, seeing the details of this animation, like on the silver screen, like how that Nicole Kidman commercial in every AMC theater, dazzling images on a huge silver screen.
Well,
I love that.
That's cool. It's just, but the way I am now is like once every other month we go to the theater, and we're very selective about what we see. And the movie that's coming up that we want to see is Guardians 3. So I'm like, she's like, well, I'll go to Guardians 3. She's like all for that, but she's just not, and she likes Nintendo too. She's just not interested in that one. It's fine. I have a huge big screen TV, so I'm not going to be missing. Yeah, I understand theatrical, but I also like to pause in the middle of my movie. Like, I'm old now, Rhea and Brian and Talati and Brucifer now. Like, sometimes I like to go halfway through a movie and pause and then come back to it. I like to watch half a movie.
Dude, I'm older than you.
Is that lame?
Yes.
Oh, only you, Bruce? Bruce versus only you. Okay.
No, he says he's older than you.
I'm older than you.
Oh, you're older than me, but I act older than you.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, I do.
I still act like I'm 15.
15? Yeah. So we're gonna probably wait to see it on VOD. So let's actually get right into it, because I didn't do any research. I'm not gonna watch the whole video here. Oh, wait. I do have to thank Jeffrey. I'm not gonna go into this topic much because it's a hot topic, but I'm not gonna do a rant or anything like this, but it was very affordable. Axel, you can come on the show. The link is in the community section for members. But I'm enjoying a nice, cool Bud Light, and I'm not in any culture war or anything. It was $13 at the checkout. It was the cheapest beer there, and it's good. It's good. I actually have another. Ooh, this one's really cold. Ooh. I might. You know what? I'll crack it open now.
He's opening a can of whoop-ass.
He's gonna have to drink his beer with a straw. Oh, there it is. Yeah.
There you go. Well,
now, is that water?
Oh shit! It was foaming up too much.
Oh,
whoops! I forgot about the foam.
Oh man.
Okay, I almost overflowed. I just got a new mouse. Bad idea. All right.
Oh, geez.
I like it.
Imagine if you spelled that on your
it's not my favorite. I'm not gonna lie, it's not my favorite beer. But I haven't had it for a while. It's just all this beer talk. I really like a nice cold beer, and it was a hot day, and I'm enjoying that. Okay. No, I'm not chugging it. I sip it too, Axel. I don't really chug beer because I don't chug any alcohol because with my medicine I can only have one. I can only have a cup or two.
You would chug, but yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Voltaire is here, and then I also got my wife. She asked for Bud Light seltzer something.
Oh yeah, I've seen
Otis,
those in the store.
she says they're really good.
They're not bad.
Well, I have the regular beer and she has that.
Okay, so like I quit drinking like over a year ago just for like just my own personal reasons, but I'm sad because so many super tasty looking alcoholic seltzers have popped up on the market, and that was my go-to for the longest time. So like Simply Lemonade has an alcoholic spritzer or like seltzer, and I'm just like,
really?
that would be my jam like 2 years ago. Oh my god,
I love Simply.
I'm just like okay, I'm past that, but that chapter's closed, but like still I'm just like, oh god, I would have loved those back in the day.
I had it come on when I saw Max making the political statement. He bought.
No, I'm not making any political.
He bought.
Max literally said, like, "Oh, I'm not going to bring it up," and then he makes that the first thing he talks about.
No. I'm not making any political statement except it's cheap, it's beer, and I'm enjoying it. And I have no. It doesn't. I'm not saying anything about it. It's like I went to the register. It was the cheapest one there. That's it.
Well, you said last night you'd buy it, and you bought it. You're a man of your word. So there.
Yeah. I got the.
Yes. And with that beer in your hand, I will say,
look! Whoa, he got the 18 brick.
$13 for an 18 pack. I'm not gonna drink this all tonight. No, this is gonna last me for a month. Let's
hammer down, brother.
No, especially on work night. No way. It's rare for me to drink on a Sunday night.
Oh, you don't want a beer hangover tomorrow?
No.
Those are the best.
But Cal goes by Pabst Blue Ribbon.
That's why I chimed in over here. I was going to anyway, but that's why I chimed in over here. That's why I chimed in. Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Yeah, that's the working man's beer.
Also, if you ever watch Blue Velvet, it's
hell
guy's beer. Frank, what's his name?
What's he say when he's doing the inhaling thing? What's he say? He's like It's like he's like trying to go home or something. It's weird. It's so weird. It's like that woman's pussy is like. I'm sorry.
What?
There's a lady present. Come on, Cal.
No, whoa, Cal.
I mean, to be fair, we don't know what anyone has on this panel.
Okay. And Raya, what's up? What's up, Raya? What's up?
Cal.
Anyway, I'm sorry. I said all that right in the beginning.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
But 1893, and it says it on the thing. Voted America's favorite beer. So I don't know why they're doing all this bullshit, all this bull stuff about.
Yeah. Well, we're moving on from that.
Anyway,
you're the one that brought it up, Matt.
I know. Just because I was drinking it, though. That's all I was saying. Yeah.
I'm sorry, one more time. How much did that 18 brick cost you?
What's that?
How much did that 18 brick cost you?
$13.
Well, that's good value for money.
It was on sale. I don't know if it had anything to do with it. It was on sale, potentially for reasons. I don't know. It was cheap. This is why Axel loves you, Cal. All right, I'm going to bring up we're going to talk about Mario. I'm going to move past the controversial stuff, talk about Mario, and I might have Callie. The kitty does not want to play.
Oh, by the way. Yeah. Wait a minute. By the way.
That sounds great.
Okay.
Anyway. So, Abomination AJ says we don't need an NCU. Well, that's gonna be main topic. Do we need an NCU? I want it. I want all the competition in the world. It'll make the comic book movies better. But I'll come back as soon as I put my dog away. Or are you calm now?
Do you really think it's direct competition with comic book movies?
It can be. Not direct, no. It's a similar audience, you know. It's exciting and fresh and new, where some of the other stuff seems stale. It could compete for, screens if there's more than one video game. If we get to a point where there's more than one video game movie a year, they could potentially compete for the big weekends during the year, the big holiday weekends. Yeah. It could be competition.
I want that marketplace of like more for customers to choose from. Like I don't like having just one Mario movie to look forward to every 2-3 years. Like I want more. Yeah,
competition breeds a better product too. They haven't really had the competition. What's that, Cal?
Ray, have you seen the Mario movie?
I have. I love it.
Really?
Yes, it's great.
I've been hearing a lot of stuff about it. So you liked it as a gamer?
Yes, as a gamer. I actually wanted Abomination AJ to come on the panel because he has some really interesting, unique takes on the movie, and I know he has some thoughts on this.
You do know Sword of Power. You have the option to just send him the link.
I'm exercising that power right now.
Okay,
so AJ, if you're free,
ahead.
no pressure. But yeah, I definitely would love to hear his thoughts because he talked about it a few times on different podcasts. But I'd want to see if his thoughts have changed or if he has a new perspective or whatever. Sure. So I'll hit him up.
But whatever about that guy. But you like
I do. But yes, I don't want to be in an echo chamber of people who are like, yeah, Mario, fuck yeah. Like, no, I want to hear people who are just like, no, I don't like this movie.
I want to know your opinion. What was yours?
She likes it. She said she liked it.
She said she liked it.
Yes, I am not too hard to please. So, for me, I knew I was gonna like it the moment I walked in. So, I did not have any real standards other than judging it for being an Illumination product. Yes. And then I walked out saying that did not remind me of Minions or Gru or anything that or Secret Life of Pets or Sing, all those annoying properties that I just have blacklisted Illumination for me. I didn't get that vibe from the.
You
Mario
didn't like
movie.
Sing?
Now, let's take away the studio aspect of it, and I'm talking about did you play Mario? I'm sure you did.
Oh yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Take away the studio and all that bullshit. Take away all that. Was this movie good? Do you?
Yes. So what I love, and I didn't even know this going in, but in the credits it says that Miyamoto was a big driving force in keeping the source material the tent pole of this movie. And I'm just it's got the Miyamoto stamp of approval, but I liked the product even before I saw that in the credits. But it just makes total sense now. The amount of detail to pretty much every generation of game, not just the legacy stuff.
Yeah, I heard that was a lot of callbacks in the film.
Yes,
to a lot of Easter eggs or whatever, what have you.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I think Cal's taking over the show. All right.
Yeah. It's great. Yeah, he hasn't even seen the movie yet.
I'm joking with you, Cal. I'm just joking. No. I Kamikaze. Can I? You know what? You could send the Kamikaze too. Rhea's back.
Yes.
She's been the sword of power. She's the OG sword of power. So you could do 2 for 1 this time, Rhea.
I think. No, to be fair, Aaron was your first member.
Oh, that's right, Aaron. Okay.
Yeah. But
sorry, I apologize.
I'll send Kami the link. I have to find him on Twitter.
Oh.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say this is gonna give Sonic the Hedgehog a run for his money.
Abomination AJ is here.
Yes,
Sonic.
Come through.
Jeffrey Miller's in the chat if you want to attribute him.
Yeah, Jeffrey Miller. Listen, man, because of your sweet super chats last night, I got Bud Light for me and my wife. I got my wife the seltzer.
And for YouTube with that 30% cut.
18 brick. Yeah, he didn't mess around.
Hey, it's gonna last me a while. How are you doing, Abomination AJ? Rhea really wanted your expert opinion on this Mario movie.
I appreciate it. I'm tired of dunking on this movie. Honestly,
dunking? What?
Dunking.
No.
I was so hyped, Max. When you was on the stream, man, you was with me, man. I was so hyped for this movie.
What happened?
Oh my goodness.
What happened?
Hey, don't ask me. Ask the movie. Ask the studio what happened. What was all that goodness?
You're not upset with Girl Boss Peach, are you?
Oh man, I wasn't at first, but
oh no! Even Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers liked it, bro.
Hey man, I don't agree with Jeremy all the time. So.
Max, you're literally projecting. What about Girl Boss Peach? Like you're literally poking the bear. Like he didn't even come in like with that mindset.
I do. I was kidding. I was just I was having fun. You're
no,
right,
man.
You caught me.
Yes, no, because like literally, like I had to like pull people off of AJ in the chat, and I'm just like, bro, he's literally just sitting here, like not even arguing with y'all, and you're telling him to like kick rocks and like, oh, he's wrong, and I'm just is this how you like show up talking to people you don't know? Like, is this how you treat people IRL? Like, I doubt it. So yeah, I was getting pissed.
Well, I'd like to hear your take because you're the first person other than Grace I've heard have a negative review of it, AJ. So whatever.
And it's crazy.
Sorry, AJ. I was just having fun. Go ahead.
Man, you know it's all good. But no, I wasn't pleased with the movie and the Girl Boss Peach thing. I didn't care about it in the trailers. I said Peach is she's a capable character. She's been a playable character for a long time. I would like to see more from her, just like everybody else from the Mario world. Mm-hmm. But I do think, since you brought up the Girl Boss thing, jokingly, but there was a lot of things to Peach that was not shown in the trailer that you did see in the movie. Even more cool Girl Boss stuff, but everything cool from Mario you saw from the trailer. So I'm like, I didn't like that. My issues with this movie are not Girl Boss, are not woke, all that. It was simply the story lacked. And I do feel that there was a lot of nostalgia and callbacks thrown onto the screen. I compared it to a Pollock painting where there's a bunch of like beautiful shit just up there, but it doesn't even make sense as to why. So that was my issue with the movie. And as far as answering the question of a Nintendo cinematic universe, I saw a lack of creativity and great storytelling here. So nothing excites me or makes me believe that in a sequel, they'll get better. Or that you take a simple movie like Mario, a simple story like Mario or game and do this. I can't believe that you will make a great Zelda game or a great Star Fox game where you're really going to have to come with some story to make people. Yeah, you're really going to have to come with some story for those movies. You can't get by with just, levels. Oh, he jumped. Oh, he ate a mushroom. They played the plumber song.
Fair enough.
Abomination. That's what they do. They want to explain it. That they take those elements like the mushrooms and the one-ups and all that stuff. They want to explain it and make it something. You know what I mean?
But they didn't explain it. So like a main issue of what's up, man?
I was gonna say, do you have to feel like you have to go overboard just to say I am a Nintendo fan here and I didn't like it? Like, is that where the internet is right now? Just because you said you have your genuine opinion that you didn't like it that much. Then you're like, but I'm a Nintendo fan because you're a Nintendo fan, right?
I am a Nintendo fan, but I got issues with Nintendo fans already. So I'm just gonna leave it there.
All right, cool. What's the three biggest problems? So you said the story is lacking.
The story,
not enough of Mario coolness. You think you got it all in the trailer?
No, but I thought Mario was cool. So that's what I mean by the story sucked. Like in the beginning of the movie, you saw him doing like the parkour and running through the city. He was amazing. So how come he just all of a sudden forgot that shit when he went to the Mushroom Kingdom? Like, how is he suddenly not capable? I understand it's a different world. Things are different. But look at it like a skateboarder or somebody who does parkour. The world becomes your playground. If you're capable of executing these moves, just because there's a transition in like setting, you can still find your way. You can still maneuver or have fun. So I thought like the training montage were just whack to me. There was no hero's journey. Maybe if Mario was more like, I can do everything on my own. I got to protect my brother, like trying to carry the world on his shoulders. And he goes in like thinking, oh, this would be nothing. I'll handle this. And then maybe through that training montage, level 1. Oh, okay, that was nothing. I just had to run across some bricks. Just like we do in Mario. The first few levels, you're like, oh, snap. This game is pretty easy, but it progressively gets harder. So if Peach would have did something like that to him, like, okay, oh, you think you hot shit, Mario? Okay, cool. Level 2. Like the danger room from like X-Men or something. And then you see Mario try to start to mess up. That they didn't explain the fucking power-ups. Y'all stop me. I hate to just go on these passionate rants forever.
Oh,
just
go
not
ahead, go
about it.
ahead. Okay.
I feel like the mushrooms, just for the sake of the joke. Ooh, he hates mushrooms. He has to eat them. Okay, he does not have to physically put on the cat suit.
What they do? Oh my god!
Like there's no consistency with. They made him eat the mushrooms to get the to get bigger. So I'm like, but that doesn't make sense because
hate mushrooms.
Yeah, they say he hate mushrooms.
Okay.
So the power-up's not really being explained because you have to eat mushrooms, but you don't have to put the suits on, the cat suit, as well as like the whole Donkey Kong, like all of that. They disrespected this man getting a cat suit, saying like, "Oh, he got the cat suit."
They disrespected Donkey Kong by making him voiced by Seth Rogen, number one.
Agreed.
That Seth Rogen laugh fucked me up. I'm like, yo, what?
I think DK shouldn't have even talked. He should have just grunted, and maybe when he's talking to a Kong, maybe he's.
I don't know.
He was all right. To be fair,
I missed the train where everyone does not like Seth Rogen anymore. Like I'm fine with that.
Seth Rogen.
I like his older stuff. I think he's gotten a little weird lately, but like Pineapple Express and all that stuff. Like he made good stuff back in the day.
I'm over that stoner laugh though.
I went in thinking Seth Rogen was going to be the weakest part of that movie. He was.
Yeah.
I
like that Mario movie. I know I'm just jumping in, but I like that Mario movie. As I was watching it, I was like, it's kind of corny. But when it was all said and done, I was like, I feel like that's the best that they could do. Like, yeah, I liked it.
It wasn't, man. It wasn't.
But like, what more do you think they could do with it? Like, I feel like with the substance, and like, all right, really, hold on. Let me just say this first before like I took my kids to see it. Right, my youngest is 10. My older ones are way older and stuff. But like, my youngest one was like, I really liked it, and I feel like the reason he liked it out of my other 3 kids was like, it's for kids. It's not really tailored to us. You know what I mean? That's the way I feel. I feel like it's more tailored to children.
And
it's supposed to be tailored to children. It's a fucking video game.
I hate that excuse because I'm a Disney head. I'm a Disney nerd. I'm a Disney fan. I'm a Disney kid. We had some amazing storytelling. Like I compare almost everything to The Lion King somehow. But that's my favorite movie of all time.
Lion King was dope.
And in a simple movie of lions, you're getting a story about responsibility. You're actually seeing a villain in Scar, somebody actually close to him. The manipulation of Scar, like the grooming, not in the way that we hear it now, but the grooming of Simba, like, don't tell your dad, like, just keep this between us type stuff. Like, in order to kill his nephew. I say like the Peaches song from Bowser, that was whack. I'm not mad at him simping for Pete, but the fact that Jack Black, who does heavy metal, and they even set me up for it because he was sitting there in the chair. They was playing the heavy metal when he had all his little minions. They was rocking out. I was like, oh snap, this is it. We're about to get Be Prepared from Scar, but in Bowser. And it wasn't. So like we couldn't even get a heavy metal like super villain song where he inspires his troops and he's disrespecting them in the process. Like they'll do it for like little jokes, like where he breathed fire on the Koopa and it turned into a dry bones. But I'm like, give me more than that. Don't rely on this is a kids movie. They will laugh at that. Okay.
So wait a minute.
What about the adult watching it?
Are you saying they didn't explore Bowser as a character? Is that what you're complaining about?
I think they did.
Yeah. I
think they did. But I feel like this is also kind of like the generation. Like this is kind of like a Fortnite for kids type to get their attention and keep it quickly. You know what I mean? Like we're from a different generation, bro. You know what I mean? Like we're from a whole different. I don't know.
It doesn't have to be. This movie, I don't know. I can't say for sure, but I don't think people will watch this movie so many years into the future. I don't think.
Yeah, no. It's not. It's you're right. It's absolutely that kind of movie.
And it could have been. I understand Mario does not have a story, a perfect story for you to adapt, but there were things in this movie like another issue of mine was the Kongs having Mario Kart.
Okay.
The game was not Conga Kart. It was Mario Kart. So we should have seen that introduced in Mushroom Kingdom. We never really experienced or had to had time to sit there and enjoy Mushroom Kingdom. None of the world.
It sounds like they didn't really set, like, sometimes movie universes like set a bunch of rules for the prop for the story. It seems like they just had no rules. It's just like whatever you want, you know.
Yes, whatever you want. Just like the Rainbow Road. Max, when you was on the stream, I was hyped. When Mario did the nose thing, I didn't even realize that you had pointed that out before I did. But like that, I was like, okay, why are all of these Kongs here? There's a suspicious amount of them for this to simply be a race. But then I was, just that. I was like, why is that here? And then I find out the reasoning in the movie. Then I'm like, okay, this is just another example of y'all just throwing some nostalgia, some cool shit out there just for the sake of doing it, because it didn't need to be in the movie. I've heard a lot of people say the movie should have been longer to explore some things. I honestly think a lot of stuff should have been taken out so that we could have spent more time with characters. Like, why does Mario and Luigi have a family in the beginning? Why are you introducing
these weird,
characters?
though. That was weird. I'm like, yo, that's Mario's dad. Oh, the whole thing was weird.
Oh, no, Ray, you like that part?
I loved it. I thought I would feel some type of way about it too. I'm like, I don't want them to have a family, but no, I love them. They're so charming.
I didn't know anything about this.
I will say the runtime for me though, an hour and a half was perfect. I miss movies just being an hour and a half. I'm so sick of movies having to be fucking 3.5, 4 hours long, bro. I don't got all day. I want to watch this movie, but I don't want it to be a long-term commitment.
I want a 4-hour Mario movie.
Hey, if it was great,
release the Miyamoto cut. Yes, release the Miyamoto cut.
Give me a little cut.
No, so I like that. AJ, you brought up a good point about how Bowser's character was more farcical than they were intimidating. And I think that's kind of one of the challenges that a lot of story writers who try to subvert for the sake of subversion, and not actually push the plot forward. Because to your point, Bowser's imposing presence that he has in almost every game, it was not really communicated well there. Although I'm happy with the Bowser that we got. It's not what the Bowser that we've seen in the games for almost 40 years has been.
Yo, he was secretly a simp the whole time. You just got to see it, bro.
He was simping.
Inside story.
Bro, I was speculating. I was saying that I think it would have been cool. Like, I realized, okay, Luigi's the damsel in distress. It is what it is.
Oh, really?
But if Bowser had if you would have showed our characters, the Mario Bros, that including DK and Peach, if you would have showed them fighting Bowser's troops, and he's like, why am I losing? I never lose. And he sees Peach commanding troops across the battlefield, and at that point he says, okay, I need to grab her. That's when we get the kidnapping of Peach. And then he takes her inside and close the doors, have some troopers watch the door, don't let that mustache man in. And then Mario, that could have been a callback to the training montage where he had to hit the Bowser. Well, now Mario himself has to run in the castle and fight Bowser 101. I thought that would have been cool. That would have been a war that we're seeing in this Nintendo universe. Luigi, a lot of people say, he was a coward. Huh?
Nintendo universe. Okay. I'm sorry. Let's get one thing straight. We're talking about a movie.
Yeah.
Based off of a game that was made in 1986. Which
there's
I'm pretty
quite
sure
a bit since 2023.
most of y'all wasn't even fucking alive when that game came out on the NES.
I was alive.
Mario's been consistently relevant for every generation.
Yeah, what does that mean?
Exactly.
That
means because Nintendo, because the guy, what's his name? I know Ray knows
Miyamoto.
his name.
Yeah.
No, the guy that made him knew his stuff, knew what he was doing, and that's why Nintendo. When you think of gaming, you think Nintendo. Now, also you also think Sony, because Sony broke ground in 2000 when they had the PS2 come out. But
I'm waiting on the Sly Cooper movie.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. The images we saw leaked of it. We were robbed. Yeah, we were definitely robbed.
Well, really, there was going to be one?
Yes. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. I do want to like kind of like preface like, yeah, I know that Cal is someone who like, he's just very like humbled and grateful for like the content that we do get these days, because him for the majority of his life being into all this like geek fandom shit, like it's only in the last like 10 years that you know we've been having this embarrassment of riches that like, you know, me and Max talk about on end. So like us like having like this sort of like, I have this mindset of like holding content to a standard that may be unrealistic to the amount of products that come out so many times a year and the output that's required of them. Whereas with Cal, he's just like, I'm just fucking glad that this shit exists, you know? You know, so I appreciate Cal's perspective on that, because it keeps me humble too.
I didn't see this stuff 20 years ago when I was a kid, not even as a teenager. I didn't see this stuff. I got like Blade, you know what I mean? I got the horrible Super Mario Brothers movie, and what was it, 92?
That's a good question. After you're done, Cal, I want to bring that up.
I'm done.
You're done. Okay. Kamikaze.
I'm just saying.
Is it an upgrade from the live action version?
Fuck, man, or look, real talk. Little me would want to argue with you. All right, little me would tell you that's the best movie ever made. Right. As I've gotten older and got a more cynical approach about movies, this movie's fine. It's great. Yes, it's better than that. I don't know what else to tell you. It's better than that. I will say one thing, like though, this movie like is kind of a callback to the Super Mario comics too, like where Peach is kind of a badass and does kind of do things on her own. If anybody's familiar with the Super Mario Brother comics, like Peach isn't always a damsel in distress. Like she does do shit on her own. And that's kind of a callback to that.
It's Mario 2, right? You know, she's...
If you play Super Mario Kart, Peach is, in my opinion, Peach is the best character to play.
Her and Toad, they were pretty broken in the beginning,
I had this theory that Yoshi was just faster than everybody for some reason, and I still hold true to that.
I still didn't hear from AJ.
But I still lose, so I'm probably wrong.
Is this better than the live action, AJ?
Oh, of course.
Oh, okay.
That's a pretty low bar.
Low bar.
Oh, but look, Dennis Hopper was the man, bro. He was a good Bowser. I'll fight you to the death on that, bro. Dennis Hopper was the guy.
But look at the audience score, though. The audience is loving it, man.
But that's always the case to me. When I see a good audience score, I'm in. I don't care about critic reviews because they're always...
I actually go more with the audience score now on Rotten Tomatoes.
I go with
when it's verified, not for like streaming shows.
One thing also while I was thinking about it, what I want to say, like, yes, I think Jack Black fucking killed Bowser, right? But real talk, I think Charlie Day killed Luigi too. I think he did a damn good job as Luigi.
I think the voice acting was on point for everybody.
Chris Pratt was like, I didn't hate it. But I feel like the two standouts for me personally was Jack Black and Charlie Day for sure.
Yeah.
Did anyone else on the panel see it besides AJ, Kami, and Rhea? Bruce,
I saw it.
No, I haven't.
I'm waiting for it on Disney.
I loved it.
I mean, whatever streaming service is coming on.
Well, no, Bruce, I'm paying for VOD that day. Just remind me when it comes out. We'll watch it together.
Yeah, I haven't been a Mario fan since probably Mario 64, actually.
I
did watch like one of these random like 20 things you missed in the Mario movie, but apparently there was like a Star Fox shit that was sitting on top of Mario's TV when he was playing the game before Luigi walked in and like comfort him about him, whatever the hell happened. So like there was so many Easter eggs. I know that's like there was a ton of them, but like I don't know if that's setting up something. But god damn it, I really want to talk about this whole universe and what it could become because. It could be something really grand.
Well, that's like what why I wanted to have AJ kind of like come and be like a reality check on the panel, because we're gushing about the fan service and the Easter eggs, and he's just like, what about it being a movie? Like, you know, the cinematic quality of like in the execution. Can we talk about that? And that's what I find fascinating. And like we kind of dig into the rotten scores of the critics a little bit, and some of them do miss the point. Like, what did you expect? It's a Mario movie, but AJ, as like someone who is a fan of video games and stuff, like he kind of has his own perspective that he can expand on outside of these random critics that we're just looking at their blog entries for. So I just
and Ray,
understand them.
You had said, I appreciate it because Ray invited me. Max, you don't mess with me anymore, but I'm not gonna take it personally, bro.
What? No, I like you're welcome anytime.
Oh, bust it.
No. You appeared on my channel, I appeared on your channel, but you're welcome anytime you want. Say just on Twitter, just like, hey,
why does he have to ask to be on your show? Why don't you ask him to be on your show?
I would like you to be on more shows.
Anyway, sorry, go ahead, JJ.
Well, I was saying I agree with you 100%. I don't like anything that has come from Illumination. I think the animation quality is there, but I just stylistically, I don't like them. The stories, the movies, Illumination is whack to me. So seeing what they did with this movie, especially with the trailers, I was like, oh snap, Illumination, you really found something here. So I give them props for that, but. And I'll say the reason where I'm just like, I really don't want to see a Nintendo Cinematic Universe, which, not to take anything away from you guys. If you enjoyed this movie, fine, whatever. My opinion is not the opinion. But I do think if we let them get away with whack story, weak story, and just simply nostalgia on the screen, things that you know without making sense, just like the MCU, we're going to see them say like, oh, well, fuck it. Why do we need to try? All we need to do is check these boxes. I'm not talking about with social political stuff. I'm saying, okay, make sure we got some of the tracks in the movie. Make sure we got some level. Like when Bowser did the dun-dun-dun-dun-dun from the goddamn piano. I'm like, bro, you could have remixed that into your goddamn heavy metal song. Not just doing it for the sake of fucking doing it. But I do see this company just saying, why try more? If they're going to be okay with this.
And I agree with that too, but also I want to counterpoint that with this is a starting point. This is the very first full-fledged Nintendo movie that we have. They're testing the waters. They got great reception. So, hey, you know what? You got fair points, but hey, I also take it as we're just kind of, dipping our toe in the water and see what it's like. So I also look at it like that too.
So I had people telling me because I was like, okay, well, we're seeing Mario, Peach, and Toad. We see them in these beautiful Mario worlds that we know and love, that we've played through, but we don't see the characters invest in them. Just like I said with the Mushroom Kingdom, all you see is Mario go there and then leaves. Nothing else. So we never spend time in these worlds to make me actually believe them. All the other worlds, you see them there, and then it pans away. It fades away to the next one. So I was like, why don't we see them riding Yoshis? Why are we not getting the actual adventuring part of this movie? So I don't believe that they'll be more creative later if they aren't doing it now. With the Yoshis thing, why aren't they riding Yoshis? Why like, I'm pretty sure they're advanced enough to get a Yoshi domesticated.
Well, Yoshis were in the movie. They were in the movie. There was a scene
exactly. They were in there. But when I asked that question, I had people in my chat saying, well, Yoshis are on a whole nother island. Well, I'm like, what the fuck does that matter? We just saw them in the movie. Apparently, it's not far enough to where we can't get there. We saw them, and then we didn't see them. But then the end credit, you see a Yoshi egg, and then it says Yoshi. Like,
right, but like when Iron Man and all this stuff came out, like Captain America didn't just pop out of everywhere, and then there was Ant-Man. Like, yo, what up? Like they're expanding. I don't know how.
It's a difference.
They can't give everything all at once. If by chance they are doing a universe, which I don't know if that's
you could have.
I think it is.
I think that's what AJ is trying to say is that like we're going and expecting there to be more content instead of like holding this to a standard of being competent in and of itself.
Yeah, like those shops and things in the Mushroom Kingdom, we could have simply seen a goddamn farm. Rhea, me and you play our Nintendo, our Square Enix, our beautiful JRPGs with the farming and animal raising and all that type of stuff. If I would have seen a goddamn Toad that had a farmer outfit and he had some Yoshis, oh, that would have been simply that. You dropping that lets me know, okay, the potential is there that we can ride Yoshis like we do in the game. So I'm just saying, little simple stuff like that. You didn't have to sit there and explain everything to me, but it'll be nice for you to drop some stuff to make me believe, as opposed to you see a herd of Yoshis, they run away. Oh, cool, yay. And then, like I said, in credit scene, we see a Yoshi egg, and he said Yoshi. Like, why?
Yeah,
why?
just so everyone knows.
I agree with you.
I sat through that whole
The
credits
missing
scene
aspect of
too.
like the world exploration, especially coming off of Super Mario Odyssey, where all you do is explore your surroundings. There wasn't really much of that, so I do appreciate that criticism for sure. I agree with you there.
Can I ask the people that saw the movie a question? Do you think that because you're such Mario fans that you gave it a pass, that it wasn't a movie first with the story?
I know I did. I'm guilty of it. Yeah.
Absolutely not. I'm gonna tell you right now, when it comes to movies, like my wife will legit start arguments about how I will critique movies, and I am not fucking quiet about it. I will pick it apart to the most minute points about how something is so stupid. And again, I went in with this with no expectations, and I always do that with every movie. And again, while I'm watching it, I thought it was cringy as shit. But when it was done, I'm like, that's kind of, I think, the best that they could do. I don't think that there's much more they could have really done for their first thing.
That's not the best.
That's what he's literally saying. It's
I
like
understand,
he gave it a pass
but again,
because
that's his
the
opinion.
best
This
they
is
could do.
this is my opinion. I feel with the substance and the substance material, this is kind of the best. I've got tons of gripes with the movie. I'm not gonna.
There's not much there. Yeah.
I feel like I've got tons of gripes with the movie. I'll tell you one of the biggest ones. You know what I feel like one of the biggest ones is? The big battle at the end. That stole from Sonic 1. Bowser comes to the real world, just like Eggman comes to the real world. They have this big fight in front of everybody in the street. That's completely ripped off of Sonic 1. I have a ton of gripes with the movie, but at the same time, like, I was like, you know what? It's fine. Like, I don't think it's great. I'm not sitting here putting it up on my shoulder saying, yo, I just feel like it's fine. I feel like it's okay. Yes, it could have been more. It could have been a hell of a lot less. But I think for what it is, I think that it was a fair and okay try. That's my opinion.
You think the source material, there's only so much you could do with Mario?
There could be more. There could be less. I just think for their first attempt at a movie, I'm okay with it. I'm totally right in the middle of the road with it. I'm okay with it. Like, I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. I thought it was okay. That's it. That's all I got.
My question to you, Kamikaze, then, is do you think they'll ever do a Mario and Sonic crossover in the future?
Nah, not gonna happen.
Not with that Sonic.
Not gonna happen.
Why? Why not?
I like the Sonic one. Sonic 2 was kind of but I like this. I like the first Sonic movie. I thought it was pretty good.
Especially if a spoiler warning, but we already said it, that he ends up in the real world, especially since there's a huge opportunity for Sonic and Mario.
Well, the real world for Mario. Like, this was like, knock off David Hasselhoff real world, whatever his name was.
From Odyssey.
No, I don't know.
New Donk City or something?
No, I'm talking about the guy who played like Sonic's friend companion in the movie. He looks like David Hasselhoff. I don't know what his real name is.
Oh, his adopted father. Yeah,
he's knockoff David Hasselhoff. He'll always be knockoff David Hasselhoff. I'm sorry, that's just what he looks like. And
okay,
that's who he is.
I know you're talking about. I think, like, in my opinion, though, the Nintendo Cinematic Universe that we're speculating may or may not happen. I think that has to be expanded a little bit more with more sequels. Like, I was speculating a Donkey Kong sequel makes probably the most sense after the Yoshi sequel, which they sequel baited as well. So once those, pipelines are checked or whatever, or laid, then maybe some additional Nintendo first party Nintendo properties, especially the ones that were alluded to in Easter eggs in the current film, like Star Fox, Punch Out, like things like that. I think that there's still more legacy, like, I guess, like, earth to tread before they go into, like, Sega's, like, expansive library of content and characters as well. So to answer your question, like, that's how I feel about it.
Just how long do you think they can get away with not doing an actual story with some of these games going into movies? Because Mario's the most popular, and the rest of them are, B, C tier compared to Mario. How long before the audience gets tired of not having a story in the
Well, listen, I don't know when I'm going to do the reaction to Grace, but I will share this. And I did completely disagree about Sonic and Mario crossover. I think it's going to happen. They just need a few more Nintendo.
Well, if this timeline is correct, and there's this what is it, Super Smash Brothers? Like, that would kind of have to. Well, not have to, but
yeah.
It would be really fucking cool.
Okay, so this is significant. There's very few movies that only get a 41% drop second weekend. regardless of everyone's opinions here. That is crazy. There's very few movies that have a successful second weekend like
it's
that.
It's a good, wholesome, quick, short,
family-friendly movie. Especially with the first
ticks all the boxes.
So explosive too. Like that first weekend was legit.
So it is, and like I said, I disagree with the people I follow a lot, and they're talking about it's killing Disney, it's showing Disney all this type
Disney
of shit.
Ain't going nowhere. Disney ain't going nowhere.
This movie is not competing with Disney. It's not killing Disney. Not the Disney of old. Now it's competing with current Disney content, but movies like this from Illumination is not going to put them anywhere near where Disney was when it was at the peak of animation. So yeah, kudos to them for making all the money, but this week's storytelling is not really going to do anything.
To be fair, I don't think any animation studio is ever going to be at the peak of Disney, in my opinion. I don't think we'll ever get greatness like that again. I don't think that it will ever have anything like that. And again, it could just be me speaking from nostalgia point of views, but I don't think we'll ever see anything great like we used to in our childhood.
Yeah, you gotta also
agree with
remember that if you have any kids in your family, like my 3-year-old nephew was pumped to go see this movie. They got to make the movie for him, so he can follow along. They're not gonna make a super intricate story for something like this.
At least for the first one, maybe the second one they're obviously going to do a second.
I disagree, man. Kids are smarter than what y'all seem to give them credit for, and they don't deserve weak storytelling. They don't deserve just pretty visuals on the screen.
All right.
A 3-year-old is not looking at this and was like, "Ooh, I know exactly what's happening." It sees colorful characters and it knows a bad guy because he's doing bad things. He just pulled that guy's mustache. He just breathed fire on the penguins.
I think they're trying to take all the boxes though. They tried to hit like me and you on who grew up with Mario. They tried to hit the Fortnite kind of teenagers. They obviously try to get to the smaller children and stuff like that. I have 4 kids, right? And from the ranges from 10 to 21, right? So out of the 4 of them, the 3 of them, they're in that range where I don't like baby shit. I'm too cool for baby shit. You know what I mean? Like, it was all right. I'm like, don't do that. It was okay. But my youngest, who's 10, was like, Dad, I really like that one. And
you could have hit those older kids by having some real stakes going on in the movie, a little bit more intricacy.
Sure.
I thought of a joke because how I was talking about, okay, you're trying to target a lot of audiences. Well, when we grew up, we had shows like Powerpuff Girls, rocking the shirt. But like cartoons from that era, they would have those adult jokes that went over the kids' heads. But adults are watching it like, oh, wow, y'all just did that. And I thought about in the Mario movie, think of how funny it would have been. So I'm going to say the Mario Kart thing shouldn't have happened as a plot device. It shouldn't have happened. I think that should have been at the end of the movie after they beat Bowser. Okay, now we're in the Mushroom Kingdom. Now we're having fun. Now we're enjoying everybody's company. We're just racing crazy chaos. And if they would have had an old Toad and he sees like, what? Like now they letting Kongs drive carts. Like it's all downhill from there. Or maybe Bowser should have took over. Like, some just to show that he's racist. Okay.
No, what? Listen. Explain your reasoning here. Explain your reasoning here. I gotta hear this again.
I just gave my reasoning because we had adult jokes in our kids shows that went over our head, but it had the adults like, oh, cool.
I get that.
You were able to do that, especially like with like Looney Tunes or something. I'm saying because kids don't see that as racism. And adults who don't even know what Mario really is, who are just taking their kids, they don't know that that's a racist. In our world is racist.
Bro, that movie being canceled so fast, bro. Chill, hold on.
For a small joke like that, adults would have been.
Bro, I've seen a lot more for a lot less.
Just saying that. Wow, they're letting Kongs drive carts now.
If they put that joke in there,
bro, it's canceled, bro. Canceled 1,000%. Bro,
okay.
1,000%, 1,001%.
All right. Well, I hate that we have to look at things like that. Like, ooh, that'll be canceled. Ooh, that's not allowed. We got great storytelling when those things were allowed, and they were just kind of normal. I'm not saying be disrespectful to anyone. Just simply him saying, "Wow, I'm looking at an ape in a car," and kids will be looking like, "Yeah, apes can't drive cars." And then adults are like, "Oh, I know what you did there."
But some people are gonna say, "Hey, Twitter, Elon Musk, hey, my boy, cancel the Mario movie.
Well, here's
well, now
I'm
you
looking
got me
forward to-
thinking like like the industrial side of the Kongs being able to construct vehicles and know how to use like technology in that way, yet they're still living in like huts and basically in nature, not really showing signs of like industry
Progress.
in their housing, but yet they're very capable mechanics, so now I'm thinking about that logic, and now I'm just like, wait, hold on, how does that work? Make it make sense.
Like we see them on the carts, and it was terrible because as soon as you get there, you got this like escort just driving you around. Like, why the fuck are these apes driving instead of swinging through the trees? But like you said, Rhea, we're seeing that technology because Mario Kart, but we're not seeing the peanut pop guns, DK with his cone cannon. Diddy was just a throwaway. Shut up, Diddy. Oh, Diddy's in the movie.
I hated it.
They could have easily just inserted the teleporters, the barrel teleporters or whatever. They didn't do that.
Things like that could have been utilized.
Now I'm upset. Yes, I'm like, why wasn't that in there?
Like, it would have been cool if Diddy was in there and he had the jetpack and he's like shooting a little pop gun on the battlefield. I'm like, things like that could have been so epic, and it's still on a kid's level.
Okay,
but
Joe.
they just didn't.
Did you see it too, Crazy Joe?
What's that?
Did you see the Mario movie?
Oh yeah, I saw it last week.
And
I enjoyed it.
cool. Shazam 2 or Mario movie?
Shazam 2. Absolutely.
I
Shazam
agree.
2.
Okay.
AJ, did you see Shazam or Black Adam?
No.
Okay.
I'm definitely checked out of Marvel DC.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, same. I'm out. I'm done.
I watched Shazam 2 again today with my wife, Crazy Joe.
At the theater?
Isn't it delightful?
Did your wife like it?
No.
She didn't like it. Oh man, we've seen it. Well, I've seen it 4 times. And my daughter has seen it twice. We were at Sesame Place last week, and we were riding the teacups together, and she said, Daddy, would you take me to see Shazam 2 again? I said, absolutely, I'll take you to see Shazam 2 again.
My wife agreed with me. The best scene was the final end scene with Harcourt and Diebeard going up to Shazam and saying, we're getting you for the justice. And he's like, yes, I'm in. And they're like, society. And then he does this whole discussion. Like, that's really confusing to the audience.
That was
and then I was like, and then I went laugh to my wife, and they're not continuing either one.
Well, I think they will. I
thought your story was going to take a twist and say your wife's favorite part was when the movie was over.
No. No, she's like, that was a funny scene. Yeah.
I think my favorite part's the unicorns. I love the unicorns. So the scene where they're in the car and Darla goes, I love unicorns. And the wizard goes, and yet the unicorn does not love you. I love that line.
So, AJ, maybe if he was doing the rock song, he could have swooned Peach. Maybe if it was a rock song instead of piano ballad. I don't know.
Man,
this looks really funny to me. I watched the music video.
Just for the sake of the whack joke, man.
She does seem very concerned.
Peaches.
I see what Grace means there. She's really giving a Me Too look there. Like Grace, she's looking back like, oh gosh.
I like AJ's suggestion of her being just like a means to an end in his like plot for conquest of every kingdom. Like he sees how capable she is to lead her kingdom, and he kidnaps her in order to have a better chance of taking over her kingdom, not necessarily because he pines for her.
And we show her being capable, not just force, but it's like, oh snap, Peach is great at doing that. And because people would tell me, well, he was the bad guy, he was menacing, he was controlling troops. I'm like, we didn't see anything from Bowser during this entire movie that sold me as an audience member on the terror that Peach told me I should be warned about with Bowser. And like, I'm fine with him simping for Peach. I take it back. I'm not fine with him simping for Peach. I am fine with or accept him wanting her in a romantic way. But I think it would be you're showing me Bowser as an intelligent leader, which he doesn't have to be super smart, but he's calculated in that, okay, I will take over and destroy all these other worlds and kill whoever I need to. But when it comes to that one, I'm going to offer her my hand in marriage. I'm going to try to do that one right. But if she doesn't, she's suffering the same fate as everybody else. I don't care. Equality. But I didn't see that. It was just, oh, Peach. And then the reason he's fighting Mario, because he's afraid that Peach likes Mario more. Not because this dude is a threat to my conquest. Okay. Not because he's beating up my troops. It's because the girl I want likes him more. So he's seeking all of this.
No, that's what a simp does. Like, yo, look at me. Like, yo, he's a simp.
Again, I'm not cool with the simping. I'm cool with him wanting Peach.
Simp confirmed. Yeah.
I'm cool with him wanting Peach. That simping was that was too much. That was wow.
See, I don't,
not my Bowser.
I don't have a strong understanding of what the word simp means. I think maybe I'm too old. I Googled it once, and it came back somebody who's nice to women. And as someone who has 2 daughters and a wife, proud simp. Yes.
Okay.
That's not the right definition. I don't know if it's Webster or what you're reading. That's not it. Well, that's not it, my boy.
I'm proud to say that I am nice to women, so
thank you, Joe. Thank you for being a decent person.
Yes, thank you, Joe, but don't start saying I'm a simp.
Because just say I'm a good person and call it a day. Don't go around like, hey, yo, I'm a simp. Like, I'm not gonna shake your hand.
Like to
I'll get a T-shirt. I'll get a T-shirt that says "Proud Simp." I'll do it.
No, don't do it. Don't do it.
It's not what you think. Yeah. That word, as they say in that movie, that word doesn't mean what you think it means.
Not that it matters.
It's like, and I may be off base, like with my perception of it. It's like someone who like dehumanizes themselves. Like totally like puts their pride to the side, loss of dignity, loss of self-respect, devaluing maybe even a sense of masculinity to a degree. Like they're just willing to completely shame
put themselves in harm, like their funds too.
But masculinity's overrated.
There's different levels of and ways to express masculinity. I'm not anti-masculinity. I'm like it's like
let's call it what it's called. Let's call a spade a spade. You're being a bitch. I don't know.
It's not even being a bitch.
I'm trying to be more eloquent and like put actual like layers to like this is the intention and the behavior is marked by lessening your station in order to demeaning oneself in order to somehow like express to a woman that yes, I'll do anything for you. Like even like give up my self-respect for you.
Women can simp for men too. Let's keep it 1,000 down now.
But it's a woman who has disinterest in you, and you're trying to increase her interest by doing these things. So what Rhea said, but also the woman is not especially interested in you, and you're sort of chasing her.
Yes.
Yeah. And there's also a stereotype that goes along with a lot of the simps, like sort of like incel territory too, if that makes it easier for you to like there's that's a lot of stereotypes. Well, you're also that too,
I'm too old for these hip new terms.
I
gotta keep up with it. My kids
how old are you,
what does
Joe?
that mean?
What?
So how old are you?
Just turned 47.
Oh, we're the same age then.
Cool. I also struggle with these terms. Ministry of Wrongthink, $9.99. What about the colossal merchandise money these movies will bring in? This movie will absolutely help sell Nintendo game consoles. Yeah, but they don't need help there.
I was literally about to say that. Like this, they would have continued to sell.
It'll help sell Lego things and kids' play sets and stuff. That's what it will help sell for sure.
Watch, we should pay attention to the recent sales numbers and games. My biggest disappointment with this whole thing is that there's not a video game tie-in. Like Nintendo hasn't announced a game to go along with the movie.
Okay,
I would love that.
Miyamoto did say, "Look out for Nintendo Direct, where we get a brand new Mario game." And like, it sounded to me, he's alluding to it not being a port. Like, so I'm excited for whatever he has in store there.
Like with a Donkey Kong doing flower power on levels or something. Like,
Max talked about that.
Yeah, I love that. Seeing the other characters use the power-ups. Yeah.
Isn't it time for a new Nintendo console anyway?
That was way overdue.
There's no
Way
financial
overdue.
incentive for Nintendo to make a new console.
That's
I'm sorry.
absolutely true. Because the Wii, look, everybody and their grandmamas, everybody Switch. I have in my house, we have 4 Switches. We have 4.
I have 2. And
Everybody just has a Switch. Yes. But one thing I will disagree with is, why the hell is Nintendo now all of a sudden charging $70 for their games? Kiss my ass. I'm not paying on principle. I'm not paying $70 for the new Zelda. I know. But on principle, I'm not buying the new Zelda game until it goes on eBay for 50 or 55.
Oh, heads up, everyone! If you have GameStop, they have a buy one get one sale today. I hope it's not over. New games
on a console that's 7 years old. On hardware that's 7 years old, and all of a sudden, I understand PS5 and Xbox Series X, $70.
I don't buy $70.
I'm not paying $70 for the Zelda game.
Max, the PS5 games are $70. What make it make sense? What?
That I understand because it's new hardware, it's new graphics.
I do that.
Nintendo all of a sudden was like, hey, $10 more. They made new consoles. They made new more things that require more space. Bigger games. Nintendo hasn't done any of that. We're talking about the same thing that you got 7 years ago. I'm on principle. I'm not paying the same.
Well, for this game is one of their most significant. Even though it's a sequel and they reuse some assets, this is their most significant developed game in I think ever.
Wait,
I'm sorry.
Which game are you talking about?
Zelda Kingdom.
Oh, right.
Yeah. I will get it, but I hate to say it, and I hope I'm wrong. But it looks like DLC. I hope I'm wrong. But
I don't think so.
DLC.
I actually wanted to ask AJ more because, on one of his shows, he mentioned out of principle, I'm not getting a Nintendo Switch, and I wanted to hear you say more of that because, you're someone who is not a part of the sometimes an echo chamber on here. So yeah, I want to hear more thoughts from you about it.
Cause I'm a big Nintendo fan. I got my GameCube up there. I got my Wii U somewhere.
Wii U forever.
3D, I still play my 3DS. I think just because the Switch, and I was excited. I wanted to see what would come out on the Switch, but it seemed like their first line of games were all re-releases of the stuff that they had just came out with. Besides Breath of the Wild, but that was available on the Wii U.
That's facts.
And I don't care about slightly better Nintendo hardware or better graphics or whatever. It's
you
the
don't
same
want to rebuy your
game.
games just for a little bit.
Yeah, I could just play it on the Wii U and I'll be fine.
I feel like this was very none needed at the first couple of years, but
yeah, as well as the Switch, because a friend of mine, he had a Switch, and the customization that you could get on the 3DS, I don't see that on the Switch. With the themes, the badges, you can even have multiple themes. When you close the DS, open it back up, it's a different one. You open it up and you hear the Pokemon, dun, 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 whatever the theme is, with the you got your Pokemon in a Pokemon Center, just little stuff like that.
What was that thing called? Friend Pass or something like that, where you pass by people with 3DS.
Yeah, cool.
That thing, I love that feature. That's not on the Switch. Yeah, you got.
Sony did that too with the Vita, actually.
Oh, the Friend Pass or whatever.
No, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Nintendo copied Sony's whole playbook with the Vita, and I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, the Vita was before its time.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, still got my Vita.
Yeah,
but
I love it.
That's why, and I was waiting on the to see what later games would come out. Would I be getting a Switch later? And I'm super picky, people. It is what it is, but I still don't think the definitive Pokemon game has come out yet. And I was waiting to see what would the next mainline Pokemon games be, and it was Sword and Shield. But before that, dumb remakes. Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu and that type of stuff. So I'm like, okay, Nintendo, I don't want to be a part of that. Disgaea 6 was another game I was excited about. But that game was not as good as 5. It was
I do agree with you to a point, AJ. I think this is the weakest Nintendo cycle for new games.
Okay.
It's a lot of repackaged stuff.
So the games themselves, I wasn't feeling, as well as the hardware itself. I'm not even getting the customization, the personalization of this Nintendo system. So there was no point in me getting it, as well as the no online gameplay. But then they introduced that, but it's behind a price wall. I'm not mad at them for that, But I remember playing the Game Boy games, GameCube games, like the older stuff on my Wii U. So I'm like, why have we not expanded this back catalog?
Yeah, they're not really.
Nintendo used to like be a market leader when it comes to being pro-consumer, and now like they just sort of fell in line with, you know, monetizing everything. And I understand, you know, the reason why, like the economy's a lot different than when the Wii U and the 3DS came out, but yeah, like I remember the good days, you know, with the backwards compatibility. Every console had backwards compatibility.
It will never get as good as the Virtual Console days too, because that's why you're subscribing. Because then when they give the new console, you have to subscribe. You're never going to own this stuff ever. Some of these games.
I don't understand.
Some of these games, but most of these games you can't own. There are a select few that you can, but most you can't own.
I don't know. I don't understand why Nintendo stopped hyping up and making more third-party games. The GameCube had so many third-party games. I just don't understand why they don't continue that.
GameCube's my favorite Nintendo system.
It was great. Oh my god, being able to play your Game Boy Advance games on the TV, like that's we didn't know how good we had it.
64 was probably my favorite.
Wii U, because you could basically play almost every generation Nintendo on the Wii U.
Wii U is really
even DS games were awesome on the Wii U.
On the pad, and I'm like, you don't even have to be in the room. You don't have to have the TV on. You could walk away with the pad. Sure, limited range, but whatever.
Very limited, yeah.
But this is still a like advancement in technology that Nintendo is known for, and the Switch, like being here docked or portable, like that's cool, but that just wasn't enough.
Hey, Crazy Joe, do you have a Switch?
No.
Oh, when I come visit, I'm going to bring the Switch in the dock, just in case we have some free time.
Oh, I'm bringing my Switch in my dock as well, and extra controllers for sure.
All right, yeah. All I got's the Nintendo, the little mini Nintendo, and the little mini SNES.
Oh yeah.
Check it out.
Those little consoles.
Check it out.
Yeah. I have mine as well.
I actually have the actual the real. If you want me to get real, I can go get my actual Super Nintendo.
Okay.
Is it like yellowed? Sorry, I just need to know. Like, is it yellowed? Like, or is the plastic still like fresh? I'm just curious.
No. No, give me a minute. Let me go see.
He's gonna reach for it. Okay.
I actually bought an N64 because I never had one, and everyone talked about like, oh, the N64, it's so great, and I felt like I missed out. So about a year ago, I bought one, and I can't get it to work. I had to buy like the adapter to make it work with like an HDML or not HDMI.
HDML?
Whatever. I don't know.
You're not that old, Joe.
It bought some Eastern European version or something.
I'll also bring my. Is it working now, Crazy Joe?
No, I've never got it. I've never got it up and running.
I might take a look at that for you. I'll try to figure it out for you, brother.
Oh, AJ, were you about to say something?
Oh, I was just gonna ask. Can you do they have like apps on the Nintendo system on the Switch, like
Hulu?
So like Netflix,
YouTube.
So that's the thing. All right. I was just wondering where was the hardware.
Right. I made a video about that years ago. They didn't have Netflix on the Switch.
Oh, the Joy-Cons are horrible. I hate the Joy-Cons.
Years. No.
They're a little garbo. Yeah, you're right.
Okay, so that's what I was asking, because I remember they didn't at one point.
They didn't.
But now
Hulu, they didn't have Netflix. They didn't have any. You couldn't even get YouTube on it. I made a video about that. Like, you bought a video game console to watch.
Yeah,
Netflix,
the ramp up was really. It took a while. Yeah, the ramp up was slow.
But I was like, like every other console does this. So what's the problem with Nintendo?
And you could on the 3DS. Quality probably was terrible, but you could do it. And yeah, people would tell me that like, well, you can just go watch it on everything else that you got. But this is portable. I can take it with me.
Right.
Yes, exactly. And like to your point, AJ, I would watch like back in the day, Kamikaze. You probably remember, like people would have to like go out of their way and jump through hoops to get to a browser in order to type in the URL for a YouTube. So it was like it was possible, but like you had to go through extra lengths to like get like hack your way into the browser through the UI of like the given Nintendo Switch like system. So that's not an issue anymore. But yeah, like I was there back in the day when like, you know, none of these features existed. Okay, anyway, but yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. Well, Nintendo Cinematic Universe. We gonna get on that.
Let's talk about it. I love to speculate. Hey, in a perfect world, I love it.
All right,
I
real
need
talk.
The Nintendo Cinematic
The first
Universe.
Nintendo. All right, real talk. In your heart, what's after Mario movie? Don't even keep Mario movie into existence if you want to or not. What's the first Nintendo movie you really want to see? Because I'm gonna say mine first. I want to see Star Fox. I was
about to say that too. Yeah.
God, I want to see Star Fox. I love Star Fox.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you. I'm sorry, I'm having issues with my Bluetooth, and I'm using the phone, and I can only hear you. You're not in my ear, but I did not find my
Super Nintendo.
Yeah, but I found something else, Raya.
Oh, your Wii U?
Something else. No.
Rob the Robot?
We're going back.
Oh, the NES?
Back.
The Atari?
Atari 2600.
Yeah, I was about to say it's.
I'm sure it's an Atari. I see the wood paneling in your house. You've got that. There was an Atari. There was an Atari in that household.
Everybody, calm down.
Shit!
Calm down.
It's not a gaming console.
Okay.
It's an accessory.
Oh, gaming.
Rob the Robot?
He's got a sip.
Oh, what is it? The Power Glove? You got a Power Glove, huh?
No, I wish, Raya. I wish. I remember that came out. Remember that movie?
Yes.
The Wizard.
Yeah.
The running pad?
God, that was great.
I love the Power Glove. It's so bad.
It's so bad.
What is it? What console do you actually have or accessory?
Accessory, I'm about to show it to you. I got the box and everything. I'm just waiting on it.
You're waiting for someone to guess?
This is like sex to me. I'm about to show y'all something.
I found my T-shirt.
Proud simp.
Yeah, there it is.
I need that,
please.
You're gonna have women ask you to pay for this, pay for that. Ooh, I can't get home.
Don't wear that shirt and then go into a bar.
Yeah, random girls say, "Hey, sub to my OnlyFans," you know.
Yeah, I can't get.
Hey, if the girls want to sub to my OnlyFans, they're more than welcome to.
No, you sub to them.
No. I mean, I can only speak for myself. It makes me uncomfortable when guys will impose to pay for stuff because I'm someone who like I have money too. Like, you know, I don't want this to be like a one-sided relationship. So
I've been married for over 20 years. If I had to get back in the dating thing, like I'm out. Like this world is so fucked. Nah, I'm done. I've been married for over 20 years.
Oh no, I would never want to be.
If my wife was like, you know what?
It sucks. It sucks out here, man.
Bro, like no. If I had to jump back into this world, fuck that shit. I'd just be single for the rest of my life.
All right, Cal, this is killing me, bro.
Can I unveil the thing it is?
Yes, please. Sorry.
We're waiting.
Boom, boom.
I guessed it.
Max was right. Yeah. No, that's awesome. I didn't even know that existed until I saw Angry Video Game Nerd.
Scope 6 motherfuckers. Super Scope.
That was a cool piece of hardware back in the day.
I still have mine too.
This was the thing.
2 of them.
2 of them.
Oh man.
You white privileged motherfucker.
Anyway, this just makes me so stoked.
How'd you go there?
Yeah.
This was a hard hit.
I'm gonna bring both of them on stream and have one cannon on each shoulder, like white privilege.
Shit, I'm unboxing this.
Oh man,
no, I wasn't
that must
sure
go for Big Bang now. Yeah.
You have the packaging inside. Good.
Oh yeah, like folks like me, I need the original box as well. So yeah, I can appreciate that. A nice clean box.
I'm old. I'm old. Look at that.
Do you have a tube TV?
Scope on.
Yes.
Oh yeah, with that wood paneling, there's a tube TV and a VHS player somewhere nearby.
He's trying to remember how to assemble it.
I can't even remember how to put the scope on. But it's still cool though. It's still useless.
It's still useless.
Yeah. I had one game for it.
Can you play Duck Hunt with that?
No,
they don't have Duck Hunt for this nest. They don't have one.
Yeah. I'm packing, people. I'm packing gaming wax. I want to use this in Fortnite.
Be
I
careful
never
out there
played
packing
Fortnite.
that.
I don't know what Fortnite's about, but I like to
Okay,
use
so
it
like,
in Fortnite.
what do y'all think about like back in the day, like how kids like, you know, toy guns and stuff like that. That was totally normal, but like nowadays it's like super like taboo and like
I used to run around with that thing. I mean,
the BB
wouldn't
gun?
do nothing, but it do. Yeah, I used to run around with that thing. Oh man, I put a hole in a squirrel's noggin quick.
I shot at. We had raccoons in our backyard, and we were supposed to. The Humane Society told us to pour bleach out there. I said, "Hell no!" And I went out with my BB gun.
How is that humane to kill them with bleach? I might as well like.
No,
you
the
might as well.
smell.
That's more humane for you to like. I guess hit them with the BB gun.
No, the smell drives them away.
Man, me and my friends, man, we used to go in the woods and just shoot BB guns at each other. We used to play BB gun wars. It is a miracle one of us lost a fucking eye. It's a miracle one of us lost an eye.
That?
I did. I'm like, yeah, the change in like, you know, our social culture or whatever.
I got shot in the eye with a BB gun.
Who said that about BBs with each other?
I'm almost blind in this eye, man.
Oh,
That's
wow.
wild.
Oh, you got shot in the eye?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, man, I got shot. Man, props, bro. I never got shot in the eye. Fucking thank God. I got shot in the same place like 3 times in one day, and I had like a fucking welt coming out of my chest. It was like a fucking 3 times a golf ball just sticking out of my. Bro, when we were kids, we would just do shit. You know, you might go in the woods and like set a fire. You might like go to the store, buy a Sprite, like play basketball. You just did shit. You know what I mean?
I should have listened. Before my dad left, he said, "Don't take my BB guns out." And we start shooting at each other, and we was like, "Okay, let's get serious." We started running behind cars and stuff. I was hiding behind a car.
There used to be that 2 pump rule, but I ain't gonna lie, I pumped that bitch to it.
I gotta go back. I gotta go back and question the progression of your story there, because you said when we were kids we just did shit. We would go in the woods, set a fire, go buy a Sprite. How is buying a Sprite?
Well, you could just go to the gas station and be like, "Let's go to the gas station." And we just buy a Sprite.
Like it was more common for kids to like go out, have adventures, you know, run the streets.
Sprite not specifically. That wasn't part of the plan. Like we just did shit. That's my whole point. Like it could be a Sprite, it could be like fucking cherry Coca-Cola. We just did shit. Like you just go outside. You just like I'm gonna ride my bike. You know, run into some people, play some basketball, or get into a fight with somebody. You just did stuff.
Yeah.
It was real life video game. You had your adventure.
You
go to the store for your checkpoint, buy your potions, save.
I remember I got in big trouble. I remember back in the day when you used to like open the cap and you would get like a free
hold on, Cal. Hold
20
on.
ounce.
Okay, go ahead, Cal. Forever said that what? He's on a small delay.
Wondering if I can get a word in. Everybody's talking over each other.
No, it's just that there's a delay. It's just a. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, my mother. What we always done was it was free range. You could do whatever you want. We had our bikes. That was our cars. You know what I'm saying? All we had to do, my mama told us we had to be home before the street lights came on, or when the street lights came on.
Same.
When the street lights came on, so we could ride around the neighborhood and do whatever we wanted to do, and talk to whoever and do whatever. I used to run gin for my papa when I was like 8 years old. Or 9 years old. You know, I used to on my bike. He'd be like, "Where you going?" I'd be like, "Well, I'm going to go down to such's house and go see what they're doing." He'd be like, "Yeah, okay. Well, take this with you in your backpack. They're going to give you some money, and when you come back, you go back, stop at the store, get you some baseball cards, or I think at the time I was getting Marvel cards. But anyway,
you still have those.
Get you baseball cards, get you some bubble gum." And bring the rest of the money to him. So, you know, we always ran around. I don't know.
I mean, like, I guess, like, for me, I grew up in a, you know, rough neighborhood. Like, I, like, would not be allowed to, like, really go that far away from home just because, like, there was, like, that, I guess, like, as, like, you know, a young girl, there's probably, like, you know, more of a perception of, like... Right, but like as a young girl as well, like I guess there was a perception of like, yeah, you don't do this, you don't like go outside, you don't, you know, you don't do like, you know, rough stuff, like, so yeah, maybe I wasn't like exposed to that as much, and yeah, like I guess my perception of like, yeah, guns in video games and in toys and stuff, not so much being so socially accepted as much. Like, yeah, in my mind, those were like stigmatized as like, yeah, that's not for you. Like, you know, those are dangerous, like things like that. Like, yeah. So I'm hearing like these stories from y'all and your different experiences. And I'm just like, wow, yeah, there are some folks who like, yeah, they grew up with it and they like, you know, think that it's a rite of passage for kids to go through like, you know, like these experiences and understand why.
Not really, because I knew when I was out there doing shit, I was fucking stupid. I did some shit I knew I was supposed to be doing. My kids,
yeah,
bro. My kids are. I'm very, very strict with my children.
Right, but like I'm saying, like you can't tell kids nothing. Like if you try to tell them not to do something, they're going to go do it. So that's what I'm like.
No. My wife is Hispanic. She'll grab the sandal and that shit's over with.
The chocolate.
Yeah, I had fun, but I mean, I had rules. I tried to get away with stuff.
Oh, I got my ass whooped many a times.
Yeah, I got whooped. You know, it was just like, oh, take a chance, like see what you're capable of. My mom was very strict. Like I said, my dad had just told us don't take them out. So, you know, it was a blessing that I did not lose my eye. But, you know, it happens. A lot of kids are not as fortunate. So, you know, rules need to be in place. Parents do need to tell their kids right from wrong, and kids should respect that. But
it takes a village.
Yeah, man, it takes multiple people. And my mom made sure that I was around good kids. She wouldn't let me run the neighborhood with kids that she didn't know. So if I ventured far away, I was testing the waters, but I made sure, you know, not to go too far, and I just had fun in my.
I mean,
that's how I got exposed to like a lot of different video game consoles I didn't have access to. Oh, sorry,
yeah,
Cal.
for sure.
Absolutely.
That's kind of the loop I was getting at is that as a kid,
Sorry, Cal, I think there's a bit delayed.
It takes a village. You ever heard that?
Takes a village, yes.
Bro, I never knew a Sega. I'm a Sega fanboy, but I never knew a Sega Saturn it even existed until I went over to my friend's house one time. I don't know how or why. Oh, the Master System too. I didn't know that.
I had a Master System before I got a Nintendo.
I had the Sega Mega Drive when I was younger.
Yeah, I didn't even realize like the Genesis had a different name overseas. Like, yeah.
Listen, that Master System, we didn't have Mario.
The 32X, Sega Saturn, Sega CD.
32X and the Sega CD actually weirdly had that for some reason.
I got something else to show
that
you,
like
right?
Frankenstein of like the Genesis and the plug-in 32X
Bro, it looked like it was
and
a
the
life
CD.
support. Yeah,
I saw that on Angry Video Game Nerd for the first time. I'm like, wow, oh my god.
All right,
and it
Cal,
was cool. I don't care. I was the cool kid on the block. I was like, yo, y'all got Sega CD. Like, bro, you got Sega CD. What?
Yeah,
I was that guy.
Sure, Cal. If you have something else you want to show, that's fine. I do want to ask though, the Nintendo Cinematic Universe. What do you want to see? Would you want to see after Mario? After Mario,
I want to see Star Fox.
How do we get derailed?
Would that make the most sense? Probably.
Oh, I brought up some random shit about being a kid. Yeah.
It's not me.
Okay.
That was me. That was me, Max. I take full responsibility.
I was a good kid. My parents were strict though. I wasn't allowed BB guns or nothing. I wasn't allowed to roam around either, Rhea. You know,
I was very sheltered. Yeah.
Yeah. I was a very sheltered kid. Yes.
Yeah, my parents were strict, but I was just rebellious. I wasn't a bad kid, but
there was parts where I was really bad. There was parts where but now that I'm grown up, I'm like, yeah, I'd beat the shit out of my kids if I did what I did. Like I was bad. Like I did dumbass shit.
But my dad.
Now, like my kids now, they're all super well behaved, and I cannot take credit for that because I do not have the heart for discipline.
My dad was my dad was the free one, so he'll let me like. He's the reason I'm a nerd now and love the things that I do. So, as far as the Nintendo stuff, though, I would want to see. My favorite Nintendo property
and animation or live action to answer that part too.
It'll have to be animation. Live action, I'm just not with it. I do not want to see none of these Nintendo properties adapted to.
None of them.
Live action, none of them.
Wow.
Why?
Zelda would lend itself to.
I mean,
it,
what
though,
if they
right?
just did like? What if it wasn't even Illumination? Like, what if it was just someone else took a crack at it?
What do you mean of animated?
Of an
This stuff?
animated Nintendo property, like just you know, I mean, any of them, you wouldn't.
It just can't be trash animation. Like there needs to be a standard set.
Right.
For
That's
the,
fair. That's fair.
For the animation. I think Legend of Zelda is my favorite Nintendo franchise. I would want to see that. Oh well, Max said without even thinking about Mario. So yeah, I would love to see a Legend of Zelda.
Mm-hmm.
I think
movie.
just to like segue off of like what AJ's saying, I think the medium for animation makes the most sense because Link is he doesn't speak, so like if he were to like be verbal outside of him just like acting with his expressions and his body language, that would be a deterrent for me personally. Like if they tried to go full rein and like totally break the lore to that extent, and that's just me personally.
Me, princess.
spoke
No,
on
Zelda
the
absolutely
Mario
speaks. We need
Brothers
that
TV
guy.
show.
Yeah.
He did.
I just think with animation, you're already suspending your disbelief already. So it lends itself to the story and you believe in it. I think animation is a very respectable form of storytelling. So to see those in live action, it just comes with too many restrictions. Like, does this person look like the character that they're adapting? Can we, all of this big budget because you got to pay all these actors and then all these stunt doubles and all that type of stuff you got to deal with. Just draw it, just animate it, and then you don't have to think about any of that. If a person can imagine it, you can draw it on screen. Whereas live action
would work, yeah,
and it'll work. People will watch it.
Yeah, I agree. I would. What game from the Legend of Zelda series would you most like to have that graphic style of like or inspiration? Because for me, it would be Twilight Princess. But what about you?
I'm going to say Twilight Princess, but a lot of people say I'm biased because I love werewolves. So that is my favorite one. Link turned into a goddamn wolf. But also this whole dark realm. Ganondorf being the badass in that. The furries will come out for little Midna. I'm just saying like that'd be the perfect one to adapt. But I don't think it has to be that story. Because with a lot of these Nintendo properties, there is no like set story. It's kind of like just whatever the game gives you. But as far as a warrior fighting to save a kingdom, there's a princess, there's this big bad guy. I think that's pretty set. So we can adapt Legend of Zelda. I would want Twilight Princess, but again, I'm super biased and that's a later entry. I would have to take myself out of it and respect all of the people who played Legend of Zelda and loved those before he turned into a goddamn wolf.
Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. Like just story.
That's my favorite one, hands down. That's my favorite Zelda.
I would. The boy playing the little ocarina.
Oh, and then like a Zelda sequel, Majora's Mask. Oh my god, that would be so epic because that game is
so stressful, bro. I can't do a time limit.
Think about like the
stresses me
tension
out.
in that film. Yeah, for sure. Anyway, next person.
Wait a minute. Rhea, have you ever played? You remember the Wii?
Yes. Yeah.
Did you ever play Link's crossbow training?
No, I'm aware of it though.
Oh.
I know you like those accessories where you're kind of like that visceral connection to the game. Yeah, you're
like
about
a
it.
Crossbow. Yeah.
I didn't play that. But I know on Twilight Princess on the Wii had motion control. I was swinging the shit out this sword. Then you had the little nunchuck that was your shield. Yeah. Bro, I never sat down playing that game.
I think I'd like to see Metroid, and I'd like it live action.
That has
like
huge possibilities. I mean, that's a grim, dark world.
With Brie Larson.
It's really good.
I agree with you, Max.
I mean, I can see the vision, Max. It's just that, like, to AJ's point, like, the world that Samus is in, that is like so fantastical and sci-fi. Like it lends itself better to the medium of animation and the character art that you actually have on the thumbnail, I don't know if that's like fan art or whatever.
Oh yeah, that's fair. That wasn't. I didn't do that. Someone did that. That's animation. You would prefer something like this?
No, like that's a little too stylized.
Yeah. It looks like the little girl from what's that name of that movie? Like the fucking all of her emotions are inside of her.
And plus, like Samus is not like that feminine presenting in her armor until maybe like later in the series. Like she was like basically ambiguous until like the end of like the first game.
You wanted to also follow that, Ray, like they not even know it's maybe for the general audiences that don't know the movie or the franchise, not even know it's a
right. All you see is a protagonist, and yeah, like
today's audiences would declare that woke as soon as they got to the end. Woke bullshit.
Woke. Very true.
That's the modern audience.
I don't know. I get the like kind of comparison though to like maybe even like a Bo-Katan character. Not saying she has to like mirror that character specifically, but just knowing that this character Samus, they're in their suit like most of the time. Yeah. And like Other M, I know that that's a polarizing game as well. I think it's on the Wii. Yeah, like adapting that story for example, where like in that context, her being out of the suit and it has to be in the context of like, why is she out of her suit? Is she Zero Suit Samus? Like, I'm a fan of that version of her, but I would like to see more traditional, to be honest.
Well, I'm just thinking Nintendo did the OG bait and switch when you got to the end of Metroid, the first game.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, like it has to make sense. Don't just like, like through the first Metroid game, you are just following this protagonist. And when they reveal themselves, that is impactful because that is not what your perception of that character would have been. So yeah, like I want like that reveal to be impactful, basically.
Okay. Anyone else? Crazy Joe? I know you're not a huge Nintendo fan, but what movie would you want to see after Mario?
For me, that's super easy. Mike Tyson's Punch Out. Mike Tyson's Punch Out. So I love the.
Is Mike Tyson going to be cast in this movie?
You gotta have Mike Tyson in the movie. Number one, he's got to be in it.
Nintendo. He was the first one that was canceled.
I think he's uncanceled now, right? He has an animated show on Cartoon Swim.
He had the Mike Tyson Mysteries on Cartoon Network.
They took his name off the game back in the day.
But that's all right. You back the money truck up, he'll be there. You could have so much fun with that because like I'm a hardcore Rocky fan, and you could do like a Rocky story, but make it like next level, like fantasy. Look at the opponents that he fought in Punch, like the King Hippos and everyone. It's like you could just have so much fun with that.
Yeah, I agree with that. That really could be a really fun movie. If done,
hold on,
it could be a fun movie.
Stereotypical characters.
I was just allowed.
Thinking that. so Kamikaze, you'll accept those, but you don't want to accept a toad saying Kongs can't ride in a cart.
No, how is it stereotypical? Little Mac. Literally, the game is called Mike Tyson's Punch Out. It's literally called his game.
I guess King Hippo is kind of like fat shaming.
They had a Latin guy dancing who was feminine and flamenco dancing.
Okay, so like to Kamikaze and AJ's point, like a lot of legacy Street Fighter characters, those were very stereotypical.
Oh, yeah.
But like we don't even like talk about them in that context. We just like see them.
Bro, you remember In Living Color? Anybody of you grew up with In Living Color, or am I that old?
Yeah.
This was just normal shit on TV, and all of a sudden it's just like, oh, it's not okay. Like it's okay to poke a little bit of fun at certain things.
Show? Yeah.
A kid? It was like a kid show. Anyway,
Jim Carrey. Yeah, I watched that.
Yes, Jim Carrey. Marlon
Yeah, me and my dad and my brother used to watch In Living Color. You can do what you want.
There was a guy who was the handicap man who was like special needs and was a superhero. That's the type of entertainment that we grew up with. This is what we grew up with.
So like one thing though that I appreciate about the Super Mario Bros. Movie that came out this year is that they kind of acknowledge that there is this stereotypical, presentation of the Italian American household, and I think it was done like in a tasteful way, you know, like, oh yeah, this is like that family member, this is that trope from, you know, from Brooklyn. This is what we think of like with a stereotypical Italian family. But I didn't, me personally, I didn't get the sense of it being a negative. And they even acknowledged that in the commercial, in the opening, like, you know, they're hamming it up as far as like their accents, and then off cam, like they don't really speak that way. So I like it when it's like done in a way that satirizes the stereotypes, not so much like, you know, like that's what the product is. Like I like when it is like, you know, self-referential and aware.
I can tell you as an Italian guy who comes from an Italian family, most Italian people I know in my family and in the families of my friends, we have a sense of humor. We'll laugh at Italian stuff all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm sure there's someone who won't, but most of us, like my favorite Star Wars character is Watto because his name should have been Wapo. I mean, he was an Italian-American stereotype. I could have seen him sitting around my grandmother's table on a Sunday being like, hey, Annie, my boy, have another meatball. I mean, he was one of us.
So, Voltaire, Brucifer, what would you pick as, go to Voltaire, go first. What would you pick as the next Nintendo movie?
Yeah, it naturally would have to be Zelda, in my opinion.
Zelda.
The size of the property.
Okay.
Do you want an original story, or is there a specific Zelda you'd like to see?
I'd like to go original and keep going with them. I think they should have a whole thing going, like movie after movie.
Absolutely fair.
And live action or animation?
Zelda. See, you could do Zelda live action.
Yeah,
like a Game
you could do Zelda live action, and you could do it well.
Yeah, I think
so. You can do live action, but I think if they're going to do a universe, they can't do that. It has to be.
You got to get a young person to play Link. Back in the day, you could have got. Think about this. Back in the day, you could have got DiCaprio to play Link. That would have went off seamlessly.
Nothing about that dude looks like Link to me.
I was about to say River Phoenix, but yeah, like that's a no-go.
Get that guy who's in Dune to do it or something like that.
Our generation's James Dean, River Phoenix.
Yeah. He was up there.
Yeah, he would have worked.
Even though we want to see that, how would they make the silent protagonist?
No, they wouldn't do that. They would have to have him have a voice actor. They would have to. It would just have to escape that whole thing.
So I saw in Tears of the Kingdom, did I see Zelda like actually speaking?
I think so.
That's all he's going to do.
Right, yeah. I think like those verbal like, you know, grunts were something that, okay, that's a concession that I can see live action executing well. It's just like the full on like sentence and like, you know, dialogue with like their surrounding characters and stuff. That is something that I'm not 100% convinced that live action can pull off as well as animation.
If he doesn't say "excuse me, princess," then I'm fucking out. I don't want no part of it. If he doesn't say that in the live action, if he speaks, don't fucking talk to me. Don't call me.
I don't understand. The Watcher says connected universe. I don't see how you could connect them. These are two wildly different worlds. Like Mario is so different from Metroid, which is so different from Zelda. Like they don't really connect. Yeah. You know,
I can see Little Mac being in Mario Real World.
Right. Yes.
I can see that happening. And Star Fox, they're in the stars, and that's why I say I don't think Metroid or Star Fox. We need to jump there because they haven't shown us to create a competent enough story to introduce elements that vast. But I would love to stay here on Earth and expand out into space. So those movies would have to come later. But I at least
good thing
know
that Marvel did, and that would be a good recipe.
Yeah, but and not to hate on the Mario movie more, but if we are trying to connect these things, that Bowser cannot stand up to a Ganondorf. So just things like that I'm thinking about within the context of Nintendo worlds or these Nintendo properties is like, how are these things going to cross over? Like I'm reading this Power Ranger Ninja Turtle comic book right now, and Shredder and Rita Repulsa have like done their we gotta come together to defeat our enemies, but then we'll fight like later type thing. Like I don't see those two characters being
I
competent.
never got into Power Rangers. I don't know shit
you
about
have
Power
some
Rangers.
other topics too, but Brucifer and Talati, did you have a pick for what you want to see if the next Nintendo movie in live action animation?
Sure. I want to see F-Zero starring The Rock with the cast from Fast and the Furious.
Man, that's out of left field. Yeah, I can
there
see
you
it.
go, right there.
There you go. Yeah, I'd watch the fuck out of that shit. Yo, that would be fire. Yo, they might as well be. That's what they're doing already. I mean, shit, these motherfuckers jumping out of airplanes.
For me personally, I think what the next film should be after Super Mario Brothers should be Donkey Kong chronologically in animation, because it makes logical sense to try and have that, because it's part of the same universe. You know, it can work out.
Mm-hmm. Cal, did you have one that you want to see from Nintendo next movie after Mario?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Okay. I was about to say you didn't ask me, but anyway. Yeah, I would like to see Final Fantasy, man. I just want to see a Final Fantasy movie. And as I've stated many and many a time again, just make a Metal Gear Solid movie. It's not that hard.
For Nintendo, though. Nintendo.
Just make it. Just make it. I
what Nintendo property? Not video game adaptation. What Nintendo adaptation would you like to see?
Well, I already said it. I said
Super Scope movie.
What I say first?
Huh?
I already said it. What I say first?
You said Final Fantasy.
That's not.
Well, technically, Nintendo Final Fantasy kind of started on Nintendo.
No, that's Square. That's PlayStation. That's
but they started on Nintendo.
Yeah, it was exclusive.
Well, if you want to say that, SquareSoft made Final Fantasy as well. Anyway.
All right.
I think where Cal's going. Yeah, he's thinking what was on the Super Nintendo. He's thinking
but why man?
I'll make a concession for Cal. Like, I don't know if you've ever played Fire Emblem. That might, be the closest thing to a Final Fantasy
but I
you
did play Chrono Trigger. Did you ever play Chrono Trigger?
Yeah. I mean, that's not necessarily a Nintendo property. We're talking about like first party ones. I believe Fire Emblem is a Nintendo owned property.
I'm sorry, I'm not that
Fire Emblem. I don't understand that.
Know which one is the first tier or second tier. I don't fucking know. But anyway,
it's a deep cut. Yeah.
I'm going with Cal. I want Final Fantasy for Nintendo.
I'm like,
it's
gotten animated films already. Like we've
I know it does, but I want to see it done right. Okay. I want to see a big screen.
I'm with you, Cal. Make the Final Fantasy movie, Nintendo. Make it.
Advent Children was nice.
Yeah, the movie.
Did you see the other one too? The second part where Sephiroth comes back as he always does.
No, I saw some Spirits Within. I think that was the title or something.
Advent Children was cool. I love Final Fantasy 7. That's easily hands down my favorite one.
Yeah, I think if we're going the same style of Nintendo, I would like to see a Mana adaptation. Man, I was feeling right.
I can't speak to that.
Oh my gosh, AJ, I need to DM you the 2D animated like trailer for Mana that was like only seen overseas. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but like
I have.
Yes, I love it. Saturday morning Mana cartoon. We were robbed of that too.
Really? I want to see some a Mana series like cartoon. I'm trying to get the art book.
That's crazy. That's cool.
And that way we can get those Final Fantasy elements, but we can keep it kind of light, beautiful, colorful characters. We can still get a chocobo in there.
Yep.
What about, I only played one of them. So don't at me. I only played one of them.
I only played a couple.
Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, Kingdom Hearts. Oh.
Yeah.
That's not happening, man. I love Kingdom Hearts.
It's just
That's
a movie already. Shit.
I was just like talking to Max about like I tried to like learn how to play Kingdom Hearts last year, like after not having access to it for so long, and oh my gosh, like the fighting system, all these like different things that you can like level up and allocate points to, and different, yeah, like gosh, like it was really overwhelming for me personally. I don't know, maybe I didn't spend enough time with it to learn, but yeah, like for me, like yeah, it was a bit much for me personally.
Which
and I love RPGs.
The one I played, I enjoyed very much. I got into it because a lady friend was like Kingdom Hearts. I was like, what? And so, yeah, and I played, I don't know which one it was, but I had the key, I had the big ass key in that series. Anyway, but I loved it. I thought it was great because it started bringing back all this Disney stuff. And I was like, yeah.
AJ, to answer your question, so I could only emulate competently the PSP version on my Switch. So that's where I started. So I don't know if that was like, not a good representation of the series.
No, don't play. No, I think that's Birth by Sleep. Go play. You don't have a PlayStation?
I have a PS4 somewhere in my storage bin.
Go buy
storage.
Yeah.
Do I have it up here? Go buy. You can go buy. It's for cheap. Like Kingdom Hearts HD Remix 1.5,
yes.
2.5.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Okay, get that one. Play 1, play 2. The spinoffs will throw you off. It too much convoluted story is weird. 3 is terrible, and I haven't even played it. So take my word for whatever you want. But 1 and 2 are amazing. Play those. 1 is very simple. With those spinoffs, they started trying to do a whole bunch of like different stuff. Yes, the battle system is changed, and it was just like weird decisions being made. But 1 and 2, play those. You will fall in love with them.
Got it.
I have this question for Brucifer. You collect comics. Are you missing out on the VHS market here? 50K.
Well, I have friends. That collect. They go to garage sales and charity stores, and they grab these VHS tapes because a lot of them are worth so much money.
Yeah, those are hidden gems for sure, because a lot of times like we don't have access to original content that is only seen on like Laserdiscs or VHSs. So yeah, I appreciate it.
And a lot of these video VHSs, they have like special holograms on the bottom that they're first prints.
Oh. And the ones worth anything are like this one, sealed, and that's almost
you have to be sealed.
Super impossible.
The Star Wars, the Godfathers, Ten Commandments.
Speaking of
if that
which,
was unsealed, I don't think that would be going for 50.
Hell no.
It's only because
there was like back in the 70s, they tried to air like The Godfather Part 1 and 2 with some special content. And a lot of that is lost media unless like I go and like search for it, maybe like in the dark web somewhere. But yeah, that was that's like a good example as well. I don't know if it was released on VHS at all, but
there was a version that aired on TV and was on VHS where they put 1 and 2 in chronological order, so you could like watch the.
Oh yeah.
But I don't think that's one of Coppola's preferred cuts.
But yeah, big fan of VHS collecting. I know a lot of people collect like NES cartridges, like rare card games, or like rare cards from like card games in the past, like are going up in value. So a lot of people are investing in those. I think Brucifer, you mentioned.
Hold on, Cal. Hold on, we'll get to you.
I know Brucifer mentioned on another show where like, comic books kind of had a bubble during the pandemic and then it kind of like burst. So that's another good example where like, I see the speculative market around, VHSs and card games and like video games. But I don't know when those particular bubbles are going to burst, because I like to collect physical media, but I know where my threshold is as far as what I'm willing to pay for it.
Yeah. Right. Cal, you had something you wanted to say, man?
Yeah. Raya, you said you had your PS4 in storage. Is that correct?
Yes.
Nerd card revoked is what you're saying, right?
Check this out.
Oh, PS2.
Oh, you got the fat one, the original, right?
Yeah.
You got the modem on there.
I bought this. Wait a minute. If everybody will shut the fuck up.
Sorry. I get excited. Sorry, I'm doing it again.
I bought this in 2000, in the year 2000 when it came out. I pre-ordered it. Look, there's still a fucking sticker on here.
Wow.
See it? Yeah.
You keep the
I
stickers
bought
and
this a
everything.
long time ago. I turned it upside down sometimes to play games on it.
Oh,
But yeah. But
Why
it's
do you
still
have
works.
that within
PlayStation.
arm's reach right now?
I know, just like he's got his like NES
Yeah, it's right
accessories
here.
and
It's
his
right next to
PS2.
my computer desk. I still play my games. I'm a fucking nerd. I got my fucking thing. Like I said, I got my emulator right here in reach too.
Yeah. All right.
You know.
And let me get
I'm
you
a
up.
nerd. I play games. I'm just old. I'm not ahead of the current. I don't know what's going on right now.
I
Games
don't
were
either.
just
You know
games
what
were
I
just
mean?
better back then.
To me, they
Honestly.
were.
Do you have any sealed
me, they
VHS
weren't.
back there, Cal? You
Do
might be
what?
sitting on a gold mine.
I've got a bunch of games.
I got
a bunch
some
of games
beta.
in the back room back there. I got a bunch of games for the PS2. I got Wipeout. Remember that?
Yeah.
I've got I've got some GameCube games too. I got Star Fox games. I got.
What about
Doesn't
VHS?
VHS. I actually have VHS. I have a very large collection of VHS that was seized because my dad's house that I used to live in got taken over because they were building the highway. And so they basically bought my father's house. And at that time, I was moved away. What's he got? I was moved away, and so I couldn't go and retrieve my collection before they came and took everything.
That sucks.
But yeah, I had tons of VHSs, Rhea, because of sorry. What's it called? Pawn shops. I could go buy a VHS for $1 or less.
Hey, Max,
So
check
I
your
had
DM.
plenty. Yeah, I had plenty. And then I did the same thing. I turned around and did the same thing with DVDs. That was a point in time. It's probably still going on now. But you could buy DVDs.
I'm gonna buy it now.
I
It's sold
hate
for
this.
$4,870. That's crazy.
It's
You can
like-
buy that. The grift's been real, Max.
I hate
What?
WADA so much.
That's a
They
joke.
they are literally making it
No way.
I'm resenting the market and how it's just been so manipulated by these artificial inflations of prices.
Careful now, Ray. Brucifer has
It's
some
like it's
rot-
kind of like how much is your childhood worth?
A lot.
$4,900.
No, you can buy it out of the box.
$14.95.
Yeah.
Pay for it.
Wait,
Here,
so
here it
AJ
is.
Yeah.
Kamikaze. There's his channel if anyone's interested. Abomination AJ.
Yeah, thank you. I was actually going to ask AJ, what are your feelings on physical versus digital collecting? Is that something that you really particularly have feelings about? Like, is it about convenience or collecting?
Oh man, I've started to buying stuff, especially like all the old Disney movies. So I said I was a dumb kid. I threw away all my VHSs for some reason. So now I'm trying to
idiot.
Yeah, now I'm trying to go back and buy all these DVDs. They scared me growing up because they were like going inside the Disney vault. Like I was like, "Whoa, snap! I'll never be able to buy this
Disney
again."
Plus and not own anything though, man.
Yeah, I'm not doing that, man.
I love this though. I love this. I'm sorry. I don't want to interrupt, but I love this because people ditch their shit like you was talking about Abomination. People ditched everything. And now and then people are like, I can't watch my favorite movie or my favorite shows. I'm like, yeah, I got this shit on DVD. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know,
like
I never got rid of my shit. I kept accumulating it because I'm a film fan. I love film. I love TV. I love shows. I love all this shit. So I kept all my shit. And they're like, yeah, I can't see it anymore. I got it. But you can't get it. If you want to get it, you can rent it from me. Like Blockbuster.
Rent it. If I have to pay you to rent it, I might keep it, man.
Hey Max, show that next image I sent you. If anybody has this game laying around,
hold on.
It's worth
This movie here is the movie I own on the most formats. Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan. I got this on. I got it on beta, VHS, CED, DVD, Blu-ray, and 4K.
No laser disc.
No laser disc.
No
yeah,
laser disc.
I was waiting for that.
But look at this. I got the nude bomb with Don Adams on VHS,
Don Adams,
DVD, and Blu-ray. So I got the nude bomb on 3 formats as well.
Lucky
Christopher, did Rhea hurt your feelings when she was saying she's not a fan of WATA? Because don't you have some WATA graded comics and stuff?
No, my comics are CGC graded.
Oh, I don't know the difference. Sorry. Okay. I thought they was the same company that did games and comics.
Don't.
Jeez.
Like, this is a joke, right?
No, actually not.
No, I mean, like, this
for that.
yeah, I know it's reality, but yeah, it's a joke.
Somebody bought it.
Fortunately,
Someone
we
bought
are
it?
in reality.
Yeah, green means it was sold.
Okay, so this is my what is it? My tinfoil hat speculation time. So WATA is buying their own games.
I have that game.
No, that's graded by CGC.
That's Dragon Warrior 3. That's Dragon Warrior 3.
It has to be sealed cow. It has to be sealed cow.
Oh,
it has to be like impeccable.
It has to be graded.
It has to be sealed, and it can't be any broke. Oh,
the
better the box, the better the grade.
Yeah, your version's probably like $10.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right.
Sorry to tell you.
I was about to say, shit.
No, I'd say come get it and send it to me for me to inspect. And then I'll tell you what it's worth. And I'm like, it's not worth anything, Cal. I'll just keep this one. I'll give you the shipping cost.
I remember, Max, like, you sent me like a bunch of stuff, and I had to preface anytime I brought it up, I'm intending on returning this. Like, yes, I do not own any of this right now.
Yeah.
I'm not bullshit. I'm not going to take the time to go back in my old room and try to find it. But I have a Dragon Warrior 3. I remember playing it.
Well, actually, that game's probably it could probably be worth like $40-$50 if the label's crisp.
I don't know.
But
whatever. I don't have the box for it or anything.
But if you're unsure, send it my way, and I'll let you know real quick.
Fuck you, Matt.
Oh,
I wanted to check in with everyone. Like, I know we're coming up on the 2-hour mark, but how's everyone doing on time? Because I know Max has more topics, but don't feel compelled to stay for all of them.
Yeah, whatever you guys are feel comfortable with. You're not going to hurt my feelings.
Trying to be responsible.
Yeah, that's a nice change of pace on this channel.
We need some structure here.
A little bit, just a little bit, yeah.
Do you have something else crazy, Joe, you want to show?
Oh, no.
No, I want to see it. Do you have something in your hand?
I'm just admiring my nude bombs.
Oh, God.
Sorry. You like anime, AJ, right? This next article, but I don't know. You might not do. You don't have Netflix, do you?
Yeah, I got Netflix.
Okay.
It's free with T-Mobile, so.
Oh, okay, great anime films and series to watch on Netflix right now.
I use Netmobile.
Agretsuko is pretty cute.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I have to get back in the anime. Arcane lately, I do want to watch this because my wife said it was great. There's a lot of people says the animation is like even potentially superior to Spider-Verse. Bubble? Never heard of that one.
No, me neither.
Never heard of
Castlevania. I have to watch.
That one's
watch that.
Good.
Watch that.
Yes.
We want to talk about live action versus animated. Like we got the animated on Netflix. I would love to see maybe Netflix try and adapt maybe Symphony of the Night or like some earlier games to lead up to Symphony. But yeah.
Okay. Cyberpunk Edge Runners. Did anyone see that? Is that good?
I haven't. That's related to the Cyberpunk video game, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the anime.
I didn't watch it. I enjoy Studio Trigger's like work, but I don't know, man. Just nothing about it just made me like really just invested and keep watching it. It looks great though. Heard nothing but great things.
Romantic Killer.
That looks like something I would like in high school, but it's been hard for me to, as an adult, connect to new shonen. Like the ones I grew up with, yeah, I'll watch. Like Inuyasha, Yu Yu Hakusho. Yeah, I'll watch the ones that I have fond memories of. But newer ones, it's been harder for me to get invested in. As a 31-year-old woman watching like 14, 15-year-olds in a romantic comedy, I don't know.
Okay.
How is Demon Slayer not on that list?
It's not on Netflix, is it?
It is.
That's one I can connect to, strangely enough. Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, and My Hero Academia. Yeah, I've gotten into that. I think like there are some things that are like kind of jarring watching it like in my current mindset, but yeah, those are pretty excellent though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got upset when they canceled Black Clover. Did you ever watch that?
Hold on,
Black Clover. Is that what you said?
Yes.
I haven't watched that one yet.
Okay. It's really good.
Cal, what were you asking?
Oh, I was going to tell Rhea. She said as a 31-year-old she couldn't get into manga. As a 41-year-old, I can't get into manga. I don't like it. I'm a comics guy. I don't even like the comics of manga. It's backwards.
Manga is comics.
I don't like it. I know it is. I know.
I'm sorry. I wanted to clarify.
I don't like it.
She doesn't like shonen.
She doesn't like the segment of anime.
Newer shonen are harder for me to connect to. Not including My Hero Academia and Demon Slayer. Those I feel like transcend into. They have strong adult themes, so like yeah, I can attach myself to that.
Well,
and shonen that I grew up with. Those are the main ones. Yeah.
Well, Ray, I've been hearing things about this manga. Berserker?
Yes. Yeah, that one. That's the one. Like, yeah.
Well, that's going to be Keanu Reeves' movie, right?
That's what I've been hearing.
No.
That's different.
That's Berserker is the Keanu Reeves one, and Berserk is the manga and the anime.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, I confused them. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Anyway, what do you know about that? Let's spill the tea. What you know?
About Berserker?
So Keanu Reeves worked with, I think, Boom Studios to produce this comic, and then the intention is to adapt it into a Netflix series, if not a movie.
All right.
Okay.
I mean, I'll check it out, but I mean, in general.
Oh, you have it. Nice.
I have not read it yet, and I hate Keanu Reeves as an actor.
What?
Oh, you're coming through with the hot
Keanu
takes.
Reeves?
Oh man,
Bro,
what is going on?
No, we're not friends anymore, bro. You hate Keanu Reeves?
You just tried to sub it up,
Bro, you fucking hate Bill and Ted, bro? Like Bill and Ted?
Bro, I've seen that movie before. It is not staying with me.
Yeah.
That man Keanu Reeves is a stale. He's a stale actor. He's male Christian Stewart, man. Could be a good guy.
I can see that. I can't agree with it, but I can see your vision. I can see your vision. I don't agree to it though.
Okay, so like Keanu Reeves does kind of have this like syndrome of like, oh yeah, that's Keanu Reeves. He can't really transcend out of like this character that he constantly is. So I can agree with you there.
Kristen Stewart has been reevaluated, though. I mean, back when she was doing those vampire movies, everyone hated her, but she's now considered to be one of the best actresses of her generation.
Oh, and Robert Pattinson as well. Yeah, he kind of transcended out of that as well.
Robert Pattinson is a legit actor. Nobody.
Yes. Robert Pattinson killed it as Batman and fight me.
I'll fight you on that.
On what? What did you say, Kamikaze?
Robert Pattinson is one of the best Batmans, hands down.
Yeah,
now,
I'll fight you
Batman,
on that.
Now, did I say? Hold on, did I say Bruce Wayne? Because he's a terrible Bruce Wayne, but he's a good Batman.
Who's a terrible Batman?
I hated his movie, but I thought he was really well cast as Batman.
He was a Batman.
I thought he captured the
detective part of Batman.
The pain of his first 2 years as Batman and Bruce Wayne. He was a playboy.
He was a great detective. He was a great detective, but he was a good Batman.
Yet Penguin said, "What the fuck, Batman? You couldn't see this clue right here in front of you." And then, as far as him being Batman, I'm like, this dude needs thick ass boots clunking out of the shadows Like, just no stealth about him, no agility whatsoever from this Batman. I hate that movie. I don't really like a lot of these.
That was his first. That was supposed to be his first years as
Batman.
I took it as that such.
No, but here's the thing, Kamikaze. He's worse than the Arkham games, than the Arkham Origin game, because Arkham Origin.
This isn't a game. This is a movie. We're talking about two different entities.
I know,
right? But like depictions.
I kind of got to get going control a little bit though. So we got to go through these tops a little faster because we're over the 2-hour mark. I apologize, members.
Good job, Max.
Yeah. So the Star Wars Acolyte, Disney Plus, 11 main actors and who they play. I thought that'd be fun to look at. I'm very excited about this series. About being a Sith.
What's it about? What's it about, Max?
It's before the Star Wars you're getting now. Like, I don't know, like 100,000 years. I don't know. Bruce, you remember what it was?
Trying to do Old Republic.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
It's like, High Republic.
High Republic.
Yeah.
But
they're all on drugs.
They're going the Sith angle. They're going the Sith angle. There's supposed to be a lot of action. I don't agree with the way they sold it to everyone, saying Frozen meets Kill Bill. The Kill Bill part is cool, but I'm like, what?
Frozen meets Kill Bill is a movie I will watch. I don't know what the fuck that is, but I want to see it.
I saw the leak. I have no idea. I saw
family.
the leak.
Doing anything for family.
Okay. And also Trinity's in it. I like Carrie-Anne Moss. I like her seeing it, especially if they also do the action angle. I think she does great with there. This guy's from Squid Game, I believe, right?
Yeah.
This is
one of my most... Wait a minute. On a side note, just before you continue,
yes.
I never watched Squid Game. Should I?
Well. Yeah, the original, the Korean one, because Netflix is doing something dumb and trying to
watch it in Korean.
Make a Western version, which doesn't
don't watch
make
the
sense.
English voiceover. Watch the Korean version.
Yes,
the Korean voices.
The writing is a lot better. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
So
you never know. Keep in mind, some of our great American TV shows were based on British shows, so sometimes the adaptation.
That was Squid Game.
Like Sanford and Son was a British show, and
oh, you motherfucker!
I didn't know that. That's like
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, it was
I love Sanford and Son.
Yeah, it was called Steptoe and Son in the UK, and All in the Family was based on a British show.
Anyway, I'm sorry. What?
Okay.
Sorry.
So the cast on Acolyte.
This is going to be a Jedi. This is one of the more interesting characters to me. I hope they do something more, because I love Chewbacca, but honestly, he's not. They need to do more with these alien characters, for me, at least in the sequel trilogy. I know they gave him a medal at the end of the sequel trilogy, but I would really like to see a substantial plot part for the series with this Jedi Wookiee. What do you think of that, Crazy Joe? A Jedi Wookiee?
Sure.
There's one in.
Maybe he could use the Force to pull people's arms out of their sockets when he loses the game.
There's a Jedi Wookiee in Bad Batch, FYI.
Our speculation is always better than Disney's execution. I'm just gonna say that.
Well, that would be against the Jedi way, though, Crazy Joe. Right?
Yeah, but that's
also interesting that Wookiees have a temper. How is he going to be a Jedi? That's very interesting, actually, that you mentioned that.
I'd like to see a multiverse movie where the Wookiees
maybe it's just Chewbacca that has the temper. I don't know.
I want to see like a multiversal movie where the Wookiees go to war with the Klingons and we see who wins.
Daphne Keane?
Yes, I've been wanting to see her ever since gosh, what is it called?
Logan?
Yes.
She was also in that Golden Compass remake on HBO, Dark Materials.
Wait. I hope we see her again as X-23.
Wait, that was X-23?
Y'all talking about that little girl?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
She looks old. She's much older now.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. I want to see her back, like Ray was talking about.
She looks like X-30 now.
Who said that? Joe said that.
He freaking killed it in that movie. And Logan,
this is the guy that said
her own berserker rage in that film.
This
And
is
it was
the
amazing.
X30.
this is the guy at Star Wars Celebration who was dogged because he said there is no good or evil in Star Wars.
There's no good what?
There's no good or evil in Star Wars, and everyone's like, "What? Do you even know Star Wars? They blew up planets."
That's an interesting take, though.
I think he was, and then the showrunner in her interview said that this show is more like Shades of Grey. It's not just good and evil. You start to empathize with both sides and see that no side is like 100% pure. So I think that's what was his intention. Was his comment was, but you're on a stage with all these people. I don't know what I would say with all those people.
I mean, I can appreciate that because that's what I loved about Andor, like exploring the moral ambiguity. So yes,
Andor,
that's interesting to me.
I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Andor was awesome. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I appreciate that take as well with the no good or bad with Star Wars. And that's another reason I loved Clone Wars, because you had that one little, those few episodes where Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Ahsoka visited those like ancient ones. And the father was saying, like, you guys have kind of like perverted the Force and made it to be what you wanted, as opposed to accepting it as what it is.
Ideals. They changed the ideals and made it to what they wanted.
So that's how you got this light and this dark side.
In real life, with politics and everything, we change it to make it suit what we want it to suit.
Yeah, I don't think the people working on this are smart enough to actually execute that. But again, the idea in theory is perfect, especially going to the very beginning before Star Wars as we know it. That's some cool stuff to explore. I just don't think it's in the hands of the right people.
Okay.
So that's sadly the sentiments of a lot of Star Wars fans. Exactly what AJ said. Like, it's cautious optimism, I guess. Like, you're worried. Like, I'd like it to be good, but I'm really worried they're gonna blow it. You know.
I'm hyped. I saw a Ahsoka trailer.
Yeah.
I'm all in.
I know, like it's interesting whenever I hear you on the panel, Voltaire. I know you're just like, why are we like making so many concessions with Kathleen Kennedy? Why can't we hold her accountable to her faults like we do with like, you know, with her successes? And I appreciate that because it's like, I understand where you're coming from. You're not like looking to just bash her for the sake of bashing her. You're like, yeah, no, let's take into account like, you know, where they kind of fumbled the bag with the IP. And I think that's what AJ's like going on as well.
If we really do actually respect women, we'll treat them like everyone else that's running these, you know, just like every other. And I'm not saying that people are doing that, just over explaining it and protecting her just because that, but that's why I'm like, I don't think I'm volatile towards her. I have a lot of problems with the things she does.
See, I still maintain she's
right.
given us
Yes,
more
I
good Star
know
Wars
you
than
do,
George
Max.
Lucas.
But yeah, like that's what I'm saying is that like sometimes we just go for the straight like criticism of she's incompetent, and I'm just like, can you like, you know, say more? Like, can we give some concessions to the successes? Like,
and I also find that not in all cases, but a lot of people that go to bat, they start to criticize the directors and the talent, like overly aggressively criticize them and put blame on them, you know, with giving all these excuses when there's an extreme track record there. I'm not saying you, Crazy Joe. I'm saying there's an extreme track record there of creative differences and things falling through.
See,
it's
like directors like leaving projects, like that's.
I just think they've knocked it out of the park more times than they haven't since 2012. I mean, George Lucas gave us 3 great movies. Then he gave us the prequels,
which I love.
We've gotten more good Star Wars from Kathleen Kennedy.
Okay, well, that's your opinion. I get it, but like, there's a jump to defend her because, you know, people don't like the fandom menace or whatever. But the other night, Max put up that list of projects that she didn't get done. He couldn't even get through the list because the panel was attacking him. You know,
I know. I was like,
all of us need to get on one of those tier lists and put the Star Wars movies and fucking debate which one is which. Which one is which?
My hot take is all the Star Wars movies are trash.
Even the Lucas ones?
Yeah, even them.
Oh,
I'm not gonna lie. Star Wars has always been kind of doo-doo to me.
See, now I grew up with the games as well, and I've read a bunch of the comics.
I'm sorry, Ray. I cannot stand for kamikaze.
Bro, like, I like the prequels too. The prequels is I'm with you on that shit.
I like the prequels.
I do too. Those are my favorite.
Right.
Yeah, I love them.
This comment here is incorrect. She's had a lot of success. Force Awakens, highest grossing Star Wars movie ever made. Last Jedi, second highest grossing Star Wars movie ever made. Mandalorian was a hit.
Adjust them for inflation, though, Joe. And let me tell you something. Force Awakens, you could have gotten. I'm not exaggerating. It's hard not to be successful with Force Awakens.
They
just
promised
because everybody was waiting for that IP. This IP is like serving candy to kids. Like kids are gonna like candy. It's just in every movie after Force Awakens went down, Joe. Like that's not deniable. And
George Lucas promoted it for like 20. George Lucas promoted for like 15 years or whatever that there's going to be a sequel to the Return of the Jedi.
It's people have they use a different set of standards because the prequels, every prequel made less than the one before, every sequel made less than the one before, but people act like, oh man, they shit the bed, everyone made less. It's like, yeah, so it went exactly.
I understand. You have some credibility there with your receipts on
and when the prequels came out, I remember people hated those movies.
Not me.
I like the prequels. I ain't gonna lie.
You know which one I saw the most? I saw The Phantom Menace 10 times in theaters.
10 times?
Loved it.
Revenge of the Sith is where
it's only since these sequels came out that this love affair with the prequels has started.
So the prequels, no matter what, the prequels, they had a lot of issues. Like the politics stuff was boring and all that kind of thing, but the lightsaber fighting was fantastic.
Yeah.
They introduced terrific characters like Darth Maul and Qui-Gon Jinn.
Absolutely.
And I mean, I don't care what anyone says. Revenge of the Sith, I saw that in the theaters 4 times. Revenge of the Sith is a legit.
All of the prequels were great. I don't give a fuck. I'll fight you. Those are really good movies.
Okay, what do we think about? What do we think about like seeing Yoda like do backflips and stuff against like Count Dooku?
Loved it.
Okay,
that's
so
why
was it so abstract and foreign for him to do that in the movie, but in the Clone Wars he was doing that shit?
Next level CGI when that happened.
Yeah. I'm all for it.
For the early 2000s,
Getting to see Yoda fight.
I loved it. Seeing that shit, and like Max said, early 2000s, I seen that shit. Yeah, I'm all for it. I love it. I want to see the Mando. I want to see the Mando. I thought it was good. People thought it was terrible. I don't give a fuck. Whatever.
I remember I saw that shit on a bootleg. Though. I ain't gonna lie. I saw that shit on a bootleg, and I was like,
yeah.
Yo, Yoda doing backflips.
Yoda looked great, but that's why I said the movies to me are trash, because when you're playing the game simultaneously and you're seeing all these force abilities and the crazy stuff that the Jedi can do, but again, these restrictions that come with a live action movie, you don't see none of that. I think I might have seen Anakin and Obi-Wan force like run or like jump like a couple of times maybe. I'm like, bro, this should just be what y'all do on a regular basis. And that's another reason I love Tano.
I'll call it 1,000. Everything that isn't mainstream Star Wars is better than Star Wars. I said what I said. Everything that isn't a mainstream Star Wars movie is better than. We can talk about Republic Commando, that video game. We can talk about the Clone Wars. We can talk about the animated series. We can talk about
Clone Wars.
All of that is better. All of it is better than the mainstream Star Wars movies. Fight me.
Yeah, and I'm seeing Ahsoka. I'm seeing Ahsoka Tano. I like Clone Wars because it explained a lot more.
Yes.
And it gave me more story. I guess you could say for a normie, but it seemed like it respected what came before. I understand Ahsoka shouldn't have been there, but I treated her like a Harley Quinn. You were made for this animation and people like it. It works. I hate what Ahsoka has become now, but when you see Ahsoka fight, I mean, we're seeing a protagonist with dual lightsabers. Her jumping around and flipping because she's a woman. So she's not going into the fight just, I could just beat up everybody. She's like, I have to be more agile. I have to be smarter than my opponents, who most of the time are bigger and stronger than me. So it seemed like when I watch Ahsoka fight, it's like callbacks to Yoda. So I'm like, this is amazing.
She was trained by Vader. She was trained by Anakin.
Yeah.
Factually correct.
That's why she's badass.
What's wrong with the current version of Ahsoka, AJ?
What's wrong with what?
What's wrong with the current version of Ahsoka? You say you don't like what she's become.
Disney Plus. They Disney Plus her.
I don't like Disney Plus Ahsoka, man. All right, so her movie,
Rosario Dawson's awesome. The GOAT.
Yeah, it's gonna be live action, so you're not about to see Rosario Dawson old ass jumping around and flipping like Ahsoka.
Oh, how dare you!
No.
If you want to see that shit, watch the Clone Wars because she's in there. Watch the Clone Wars.
Yeah, I watched Clone Wars. No, I love Clone Wars.
But what I'm saying is she is in that, and not Rosario Dawson. I'm saying that the character is in that.
See, isn't that funny? Like, AJ has the exact... I want live-action Star Wars. Yeah, I get it. The Jedi aren't going to be able to do as much cool shit as they can do in animation, but live action is where it's at for me, for the Jedi stuff. I'm excited to see it.
I feel like everything that isn't mainstream Star Wars, again, I'll repeat myself, is better than mainstream Star Wars. Everything.
Yeah. So why so? Because I know
Rogue
from
One,
the what's
all
the
that
game?
shit, everything.
The is it Old Republic? Like that
Old
the
Republic,
cinematic
video
trailer?
game, yeah, that was yep.
That shit CGI, it's amazing. Crazy like powers, and not even from the Jedi, just the smuggler from that one trailer. I mean, the soldier who took a fucking bomb like to go fight a Sith, whatever the dude was, and like that shit.
Hot takes, man. I can't take your hot takes.
What's my hot take? Rosario Dawson is older. She's not going to flip around like Ahsoka. That's just fat.
Well, she doesn't have to.
Ahsoka is
She
older.
does have to. Ahsoka had Ahsoka.
Special effects. People don't really flip around.
She has.
What about Star Wars: The Force Awakens, where the guy who is
I can't flip around, but with ILM, I could flip around.
Baby Yoda flip.
Star Wars, all right, Star Wars Force Awakens, where he has Darth Vader's apprentice who's really taking fucking starships out of the sky and bringing them down.
That's weak ass shit.
Have you ever? No bullshit. Have you ever seen that in a Star Wars movie?
That was a dumb
never
thing
seen
to put
powers
in
on
the
their
game.
level.
I mean, honestly, that was a really dumb move in the game to bring down a fucking Star Destroyer.
That shit was epic. I mean, you talking about that was amazing.
That was that was one of the things that I like the idea of Rey, but yeah, some of the execution was rough.
That's what they do. They do stuff like that. You don't see that.
They could do that in live action, by the way, if they wanted it.
That's true. They could.
In the Lucas Star Wars.
Well, Vader
films,
did it in Obi-Wan. Vader did it.
Yeah.
Vader did what? Do the pull the ship?
Yeah.
It's like inconsistencies with that because
I'm gonna call Obi-Wan's a bitch. I'm gonna say it. Obi-Wan's a bitch.
Oh, how dare you!
Like
in the Mandalorian, the shit where Obi-Wan shows up and Darth Vader has fire, and then the fire disappears and the fire comes back, and it's like I'm gonna run away. Yeah. I'm sorry, that shit was garbage.
Yeah, exactly. And you let this dude run away.
All of that shit was stupid. It was
okay,
garbage.
but like that was early on in the season, and my rationale for it is like he wants to hunt Obi-Wan down. He wants to put him through that same psychological torment that he feels like Obi-Wan did to him, and that's when they have like that battle at the end of the season, and it's so significant in my mind because although like they didn't have like that heart to heart that I wanted, they have like this like physical sort of like Obi-Wan blaming himself so much for like how Anakin descended into Darth Vader, and then Darth Vader, and then Anakin's like, no, I'm accountable for everything I've done. I own becoming Darth Vader. I'm like, okay, that's like a powerful moment because for me personally. So that's how.
Yeah, and when he saw him the first time, you said, "What have you become?" Like that hits. Like that was really well executed.
There was a strong father-son relationship they had. When he grew up, when he was growing up as his Padawan. So you're seeing your adopted son.
Yeah.
But you see this battle where they're fighting on top of lava, and they get older, like, yo, don't fall into this fire, boy. Like that shit's whack. That shit was a whack ass fucking reunion. I don't care. I call it a spade. That was stupid.
I mean, compared to Duel of the Fates, yes, right. Like it will always be mid. Like,
and I'm not comparing. I'm just saying, like, oh well, I feel like the whole Disney Plus aspect of this whole thing, like, it didn't even need to be done. I don't even think it needed to be done.
A lot of people.
Well, nothing needs to be done.
Yeah, that's true. I'm happy with. I forgive a lot of the problems with that, just because I thought every Anakin and Obi-Wan scene was good to me when they were together. I kind of made the whole thing worth it, to be honest.
I thought the best part was young Princess Leia. I really liked the
Oh, yeah.
relationship
She was
between
hilarious.
Obi-Wan and young Princess
Oh
Leia.
man.
No, you're
gosh.
trolling. You're trolling.
Oh, Joe, you like the stuff that I like. Am just like, no, this is holding the series
No, he's
back.
trolling. That's why he's getting a thin shirt.
No, he's
No,
not.
no, he's not. No, these are his
No.
genuine feelings.
Yo,
No,
really?
that stuff was beautiful. I mean, that actress was delightful. I mean, it was just the relationship between them was.
Oh,
it was
yeah,
just
I'm there
delightful to
with
watch
you
on
on-
screen.
I'm there
and
with
it,
you.
It was enriching to the continuity because it really, like years later, when she's like, "Oh, we need Obi-Wan," you understand, like, oh, well, this is why she's got this relationship with him.
She was
I thought that was great.
She was annoying. Her running from those bounty hunters was weird. At one point,
No,
she
hey,
like, running,
don't touch me. And then she's like 20 feet away from him. Then she's like 5 feet away from him.
And-
then she
and
falls
she's
down.
like-
It's
she's
just
like running
weird.
from Obi-Wan jumping. She jumped off of a fucking roof to get away from this dude.
Yeah.
But like, I can't even remember the show. I push a lot of this shit out of my head. But I was
Yes,
like,
yes.
kid, if you're as smart as they're telling us, you would know that Obi-Wan is not the villain here. It's those fucking guys that look like villains
She's
and
a
who are
young
chasing
child.
you.
She does strangers everywhere.
A young child would be smart enough to not jump off of a roof.
That's true. Hopefully, yeah.
But no, like we're talking about the interaction between Anakin and Darth Vader and Obi-Wan. Now again, I'm pushing a lot of this shit out of my head because it was just stupid. But I recall, I think I recall Vader was holding something with the Force, and then he like kneeled down with his lightsaber to ignite some shit that was on the ground, as opposed to using some Force lightning to ignite it. So when I see just like stuff like that, it lets me know you truly don't believe or understand these powers that you're putting.
I think I agree with you that he could have done that different ways, but that was like a baller move. Like,
it's not a baller move. It's
that's
like,
not a baller
I have
move.
been hunting
I
and
kind of
tracking you for years, and here you are. Fired.
And you have the
You know
Force.
what? I ain't gonna touch. You're in a fucking. This is the guy that you have been looking for years.
He let
And
him
he's
go
right
because
there,
he
wants a
wants
little
the
bit of
chase.
fire.
He wants to put Obi-Wan into a state of fear. Like he wants to torment him. That's how I read it.
But when I see
Potentially,
Darth
he
Vader
wants to
have
use
to
the-
He
kneel
looked like we
down,
don't have the budget to do anything cool.
yeah, I
That's
see
what it looked
stuff
like.
like that. That's what I see, stuff like that. But that Old Republic trailer, when you saw that, there was the female Jedi, and she was force pushing the Sith guy into the tree, and it was just like, it was crazy. It was like some Avatar: The Last Airbender shit, like a bunch of wind, but like the reverse of that is pull. I can see that character almost pulling a ship or trying to hold the ship down or keeping it from like lifting up or taking off or something. But when I see little shit like that where you like lazily using the Force and like somebody like push like a refrigerator over or something to Obi-Wan, and I'm just like, okay, just the inconsistency with powers, and then you're not showing me the full capabilities of these characters, so I'm not believing that they are the amazing Jedi that you say. And again, it's not just a
movies, though, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I was about to say that's just not an issue with Disney Star Wars. I've been felt that way with Star Wars. Luckily, like I said, I had games and comic books to be like, oh, okay, the Jedi are badass. Okay, they are way more capable than what I'm seeing in these movies.
I
Like-
always feel like everything that isn't mainstream Star Wars is always better than mainstream Star Wars.
Yeah.
Comics,
What I will
movies,
say
everything.
about like my criticism with Obi-Wan, as much as like I love the show, on top of like the Leia stuff, it's I have to make these what is it? I have to do mental gymnastics sometimes in order to rationalize Obi-Wan's, agency over his powers. Sometimes like, they are inconsistent, what AJ said. And in my mind, I want to give the show the benefit of the doubt. I'm like, oh yeah, he's faltering with, his self-confidence. He doesn't feel like, he is the capable Jedi that he was in before. He's like trying to decide like if he's like going to remain a shell of his former self, or if he's gonna rise to the abilities that we've seen before. So I kind of see that psychological like battle he's having internally. But again, I'm doing mental gymnastics to rationalize that, and that shouldn't be the case for everyone to be expected to do that.
You're right. You're right about that.
Check this out. Because I understand y'all saying that, like, okay, Obi-Wan, he's seeing his brother, his the kid, I forgot what it's called, his apprentice or whatever, like, he's seeing him turn into Darth Vader. And the mental stuff that Obi-Wan was going through. well, like Obi-Wan was just running in fear from this guy. Well, the Obi-Wan that I saw in Clone Wars was he was calm, he was cool-headed, he was trying to think steps ahead.
Yep.
He kept his cool. So I'm not believing that character. But then I'm gonna go back to Rebels, which I didn't like.
He came in contact with Darth Maul. He fucking fucked his head up immediately.
But with Rebels,
response for you though, AJ.
Okay, but with Rebels, when Ahsoka first met Darth Vader, because she had heard, but in that moment she realized it was true, and you see her like, oh shit. No, actually she fought him, but then when she cut his mask and she was like, oh, that is Anakin. She was taken out of it for a moment, but she said there's a mission that still needs to be accomplished right now. I have to fight this dude to make sure that these people get off safely. So you mean to tell me that Ahsoka can keep her head? She's younger than Obi-Wan. Ahsoka can keep her head and keep the mission, be mission driven and fight, knowing it's her last fight, but Obi-Wan's gonna fucking run. But then when Rebel was met with Darth Vader and Obi-Wan, she's like, I'm gonna fight, I'm aggressive. There's a mission here. So just inconsistencies like that make.
I think it's done with. I think Obi-Wan's arc is done well with storytelling. He lived after Order 66. He was directly affected there, where Ahsoka was somewhere else. I don't remember exactly where Ahsoka was during that time period, but being directly there in your literal brother.
Ahsoka,
not literal, but basically
Ahsoka,
brother. Yeah,
Ahsoka heard about Order 66 from everybody else from the later episodes of Clone Wars.
Yeah,
but she also went through in Clone Wars the Jedi turning on her. That's why she left. So she kind of knew something was already up. So I can see what you're saying. Like she's already mentally like, okay, there's some whack shit going on. I don't need to be a part of this goddamn cult.
Yeah, but
I need to not be a shit.
With the difference between Ahsoka, and I love this type of debate. This is great, AJ. The difference between Ahsoka and Obi-Wan is he might feel guilt, whereas she was still a Padawan to Anakin. So with the way he trained Anakin, not only did he potentially felt like he failed his brother, he failed the Order, and all these younglings are gone, and the Jedi Order is a disarray. So there's a tremendous amount of guilt and pain that yes, Ahsoka has that too, but it's completely different. I think.
And I don't like to be in the awkward position of defending the Disney Star Wars story group team, because I think they're terrible for the most part, but Obi-Wan being broken and disconnected from the Force and kind of having to see that journey come back. Yeah, they over-exaggerated it because he was absolutely nothing. It was like he was completely out of it. But, you know, if you read Jedi lore and you believe that, you know, connecting with the Force and meditating and doing all that stuff is part of it, and if you disconnect from it and you're emotionally broken, yeah, you could sort of stretch that out to have him where he was.
Crazy
and
Joe,
also his comeback.
I'm going to have you on, and me and you are going to talk about the positives of the sequel trilogy.
The positive was they almost introduced a black Jedi who was just a stormtrooper. But no, they failed with that one.
I agree with you.
Yes. Yeah, they fumbled the bag on that one. I absolutely agree.
Two wonderful thirds of a trilogy and one mess up, but that's okay. Because as weak as Rise of Skywalker is, I'll still take it over the prequels any day of the week. So.
All right, Joe.
That hurt.
I was going to talk about Mando. I mean, if y'all already on this Star Wars stuff. We're going to talk about Mando. What happened?
Oh well, we can.
I gotta get going. It's late. I got work in the morning.
All right, take care.
Look, sure, Obi-Wan. We saw him as a brother. But
hey, man, I was gonna say I was sorry to cut you off, but I gotta get out of here too. I appreciate you guys. I very much appreciate you. Thank you for having me on. Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming on.
Night.
Yeah.
Look, I will go ahead and take this opportunity to leave as well.
Thank you so much for joining us. It was great having you here.
Yeah, it was fun.
AJ.
Only half of your hot takes hurt my feelings. So
I love the nerd conversation.
Look out
man.
for that DM for the show real soon. I'm gonna after
Yay.
that Rosario Dawson.
Nice.
No, I'm being sarcastic. After that Rosario Dawson, I don't want to see you for a while.
You should be able to.
After the Rosario Dawson take, I'm very upset with you, AJ. Very
you should be
upset.
able to disagree with somebody's take and have a rational
I'm
discussion
joking.
about
I'm joking.
it. Which,
I'm joking.
I think
I'm
we
joking.
Yeah. And that always happens every time I come to Max's channel. So I appreciate the invite, Rhea, not Max. I appreciate you for allowing me to come onto your channel, Max. But all the appreciation goes to Rhea. But no, man, it's always a fun time.
Check his YouTube channel out, guys.
Yes,
Thank
please.
you, guys. I haven't made a video in a while. I've just been handling some stuff in real life and trying to like actually figure out what videos do I want to make. I know I'm making a Mario review, going in depth on that. But
Bass Vigilante. No. Watch what you're. Well, I know you're going through some stuff now, but yeah, I'm gonna have to put you in a timeout. I know
Matt,
you're dealing.
You don't have to. I don't care about race. I don't even know if this person is intentionally being racist.
No.
I don't.
Yeah, there's multiple black people on this, like Cal.
Okay.
AJ,
I can't speak for everybody, so there you go.
And Brucifer, but yeah.
Only on weekends.
Mess. I love you, man, but you really got to think about the way you say things. And I know you're going through something, and we love you, man, but you gotta be careful with that kind of stuff, man. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You know, wait, one more thing about that. John Boyega, he's English.
Should I leave Voltaire?
No, I want you here because you made a comment about Boyega. And this is one of the problems I have with the sequel trilogy. Boyega is English, all right? Half of Star Wars is English, but they made him have an American accent in those movies for some reason. Why? Tell me why. Answer me why.
For representation purposes.
Thank you. I can't say it. You can.
You can say it. Be honest.
Yeah.
We need more people that don't look like me to say it. We all gonna get backlash. I'm a self-hating black man, and you're racist for saying that. But it is what it is. We telling the truth, okay?
I mean,
Disney is the ones doing the shit. We just pointing it out.
Like,
AJ,
it's
I'm
terrible
from the UK,
though. That one was awful to me.
AJ, I'm from the UK, so I understand why they did it. I don't understand.
That's one of the things though too. Y'all just now noticing this shit.
No, I noticed it from day one because I knew who he was.
We're actually discussing it finally. Like, we never really openly discussed it before. It was known, but like, in this open panel, like, we're finally getting into it.
So, and if they wanted representation, why didn't they get an American actor then? Like, I mean, what? It's just.
Because British actors are better actors than American actors.
You communist! How dare you?
Voltaire, I've made that point, but then my co-host on my show, Heroes No Capes, he did say that, or I don't know, maybe it was people in the chat, but yes, British actors are just better than us. So it's not necessarily a black thing and a white thing, because people love Tom Holland right now and Andrew Garfield. I didn't even know those dudes were British or whatever. Henry Cavill, but I do.
Oh yeah.
Just like I was saying with the Reva character, Disney is using skin tone and sexuality to push their products as opposed to creating great great stories.
Really?
I don't believe that.
You think
that? I believe it. It goes back to
I think they're just overcompensating for something they should have did 50 years ago. That's all.
No, like I see both sides of the coin where like I don't like having my identity monetized and not being properly represented in these characters, as far as that being a driving force in how they contribute to the narrative. Like, why do I need to know like what they identify as unless it's like for insidious reasons for me to just like connect to it more and be more forgiving of the product? I kind of see that from my perspective.
Look, bro, I shit on Princess and the Frog. Okay, it's not just Marvel and Star Wars or whatever. It's Disney itself, and Disney has bought all of these properties to push their messaging in. Because it's Disney. We're going to see it because of the name attached to it. But yeah, I'm a grown ass man complaining about Disney princesses because I see it there as well.
Well, like Princess and the Frog as a product, it's very much flawed. But like Princess Tiana, I feel like is a very interesting take on a Disney princess. So I feel like there are aspects that they do very well, but the delivery and the insidious intention of it being a marketing ploy as opposed to meaningful representation is like something I have a point of contention with.
And Soul as well. That was another one where that shit's under if you look at Disney Plus, when I did have it, it's under like the Black Stories or Representation Matters or whatever. But if you look at the cover art, that black man, there's a white girl in his body, and the black man is the fucking cat.
Yes,
so,
thank you. Yeah, I have a big problem with that as well. Right,
So-
like you want to talk about representation, but like for 75% of the movie and in Princess and the Frog, like these characters are not humans. So yeah.
Right. They even have a song, When I'm Human. Like, I also think about Princess Tiana. She was, now I'm not mad at the dad for dying. The one parent thing always happens, but he was the only parent that I can think of that told his kid, magic ain't real. You got to work hard for what you want. I'm not saying that no other parent hasn't instilled values in their kid, but that was the only one that was saying, like, good things cannot happen to you. You have to work extra hard. And then I'm not trying to go in on Disney, on Princess and the Frog. I got a lot of stuff to say about that movie, but yeah, beautiful ass Tiana was a goddamn swampy frog.
That movie disappointed a lot of folks. Like so.
What?
Yeah.
Like I can only speak for folks that I align with as far as like our points of view of like why it's a flawed product. Like again, there are aspects that I really enjoy, but yes, the way that it's delivered, we can definitely pull it apart and inspect where it could have done better.
Yeah, like I said, Moana. I love Moana. She got a cultural movie. She had her animal companions, like all of the checking of the boxes with a Disney princess. She had it. Brown woman. Why could you do that with a black girl? She ain't got her own culture. She's fucking Afro-American.
What about Coco? Was Coco a Disney movie or no?
It was. I didn't watch Coco because I seen the Book of Life and I had heard that those guys had presented the idea to Disney, but they said no, so they went and did the Book of Life. I enjoyed that movie. Yeah, could have been fine.
I liked it. I thought it was great. I think I cried in it. I was probably drunk, but I think I cried.
I mean, I will say Princess and the Frog did I think they did an okay job with like the regional heritage as far as like Princess Tiana, but they fumbled it as far as like actually having her on screen as her character and actually meaningfully like having that drive the narrative. Like it just happened to be a setting as opposed to the world being built around it.
Right.
And she has no animal companion. It was a goddamn firefly that was hanging around her and a crocodile that they ran up on that was like, I don't like being a crocodile. I want to go play that jazz.
Rhea, have you seen I have a chance to see it and I want to know. I'm pretty sure you probably seen it. Kubo and the Two Strings.
Yeah.
Came out a long time ago.
Right, I know what it is.
Yeah.
Did you watch it?
Yeah.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Yep.
Should I watch it?
Like I don't know if it's like necessary viewing material, but it's a standalone story.
I don't give a fuck about this. I'm sorry, I'm cursing and everything.
I remember enjoying it.
Necessary viewing. I view stuff that I want to watch. I'm not one of those people that are like, I have to watch this because it's going to be a classic or it is a classic. I watch what I want to watch.
It's very.
Right, I'm saying it's not a priority. If you have other stuff you're more compelled to watch, don't prioritize Kubo over that.
I would say, if you like stop motion, it's a priority because they do some interesting things in there that you don't always get. It's very the artistic scope of it's very cool for stop motion.
Yeah, I enjoyed the movie, but since we talking about stop motion, like that Pinocchio, Guillermo del Toro's.
I heard
on Netflix. Yeah.
That was great. That made me feel things, and I haven't felt things from a Disney movie in a long time. So the fact that animation, and then the director, him actually saying that animation is not a kid's medium. Like,
yes, that was a powerful
not just the kids
statement.
medium. Yeah, so
certainly not in that movie.
That was good.
For Jay.
I think it's an IP that like not necessarily is owned by Disney, so I think it's like maybe public domain now. I think that's why Jungle Book was able to be adapted into its own
I never
Netflix
watched
thing.
that. Was that any good?
I would say it's detached from like any sort of like Disney agenda, that it can be its own thing. So you might appreciate it.
Which one had Idris Elba in it? Was that Jungle Book or the other one that they did?
Was it Idris Elba as like the tiger or something? I forget.
I would assume that was the Disney one, but Mowgli on Netflix, that was good.
Mowgli. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, it's called Mowgli.
John Favreau one, I can't keep up. Was that the John Favreau one?
No,
Favreau,
no,
Favreau,
no,
whatever.
no. He ruined Lion King. I hate John Favreau.
Hey, you go back.
Like AJ, you tried to leave it. Now you're like sparking even more debates.
I don't have anything that I need to do except my wife is in there.
Right.
And this stream was just random, so I didn't plan to spend that much time here. I didn't know how long this was gonna go. It's fun though. Like I don't need to go. If y'all would ask me some of one of my perspective on something.
Hey Max, are you still gonna play the Grace trailer? The Grace reaction.
Oh, the whole point of the
yes.
No. I mean, maybe at the end, at the very end. Yeah, just to see what she says at the beginning.
Do you want to stay for the reaction, AJ?
I would. If he's gonna do it at the end, then I'll go ahead and leave now. If he's gonna play it right now, then I'll stay.
Oh, you want to see Grace? All right.
But I don't want to, control.
We're not going to watch a lot of it. I just want to hear what she says about the Mario movie.
And I also want to see how, because I didn't watch her video, but you said I sound like Grace, and it seems like my opinion falls more in line with a lot of what I'm hearing from critics. So I want to see.
That there's no story, and she was not impressed at all.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me bring that up.
Whoa! What movie is she talking about?
Mario again.
Mario.
Okay.
So is she doubling down on her criticism? Is that
she course corrected. She's like, well, you don't have to understand the no money. so I want to see what she says at the beginning of the
money.
Yeah, money. So she's like, all right.
3, 2, 1, go.
Great. Well.
Welcome to this week's movie math, where so much is happening. Buckle up, baby. The entertainment industry is percolating in every single category. It's exciting stuff. Now we're going to start at the theatrical box office with Super Mario Brothers, which has not reached.
Now she's going full Super Mario because it's moneymaker. 41% drop. I really got to hear about that. I don't know how many movies have had that low of a drop.
I mean, like from a $350 like 2-day premiere though,
Yeah. Okay.
Billion just yet, but it's on its way. Domestically, the Universal
She missed a good opportunity to
Illumination
say
and
on like Donkey Kong.
On like Donkey Kong.
It's a
movie. It was revealed.
Like Donkey Kong for Super Mario Brothers.
Anyway, continue.
Well, this week that Nintendo seems to have put up half the financing, and that means they get half the net. What that means is that after Universal and Illumination have recouped their costs, then Nintendo gets 50% of whatever money is left over. I think Nintendo is about to get schooled because Hollywood is infamous for their creative accounting. They almost never have any profit.
I hate her so much.
Oh, she does a good job on the movie math.
She sure does.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll just say her. It's her voice.
Continue.
She's out of work with what she's got. I think her voice is fine. I know it's very.
We know she's your favorite, Max.
Anyway,
always ask for a percentage of the gross, not the revenue, because there's never in revenue or net, because there's never any to be had. But anyway, Nintendo's got a lot of money, and I'm sure they'll get smarter doing Hollywood contracts perhaps after this. But anyway, Super Mario Brothers had a shockingly strong hold, falling just 41%. Oh my goodness. Not only speaking to the strength of the fandom and some other stuff which we're going to get into, but also the other studios gave it the kind of pass usually reserved for Disney movies, and sometimes not even then. Remember last weekend we were using The Incredibles 2 as a comp for the Super Mario Brothers, a comparable situation, for those of you who don't know the lingo. Well, that went up against Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom in its second weekend and fell just 56%. That's impressive considering what it was going up against. As for Universal and Illumination's own Minions 2, we can't use Frozen 2 as a comp because it opened the weekend prior to Thanksgiving. Then it had Thanksgiving pretty much all to itself. It was a different situation. So Minions 2, it got hit with Thor Love and Thunder in its second weekend and fell a similar 57%. Isn't it interesting how similar those two movies are in their performance? And perhaps Super Mario Brothers would have been right there with them if anyone had bothered to challenge them in their second weekend. But nobody did!
Well, they had smooth sailing, I guess, is the point there. They
All
do. Go ahead.
Well, hold on, Matt. I'm gonna address somebody in the chat. 'Cause you have some wild people in your chat say some dumb stuff to me.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Senior Nerd talking about if I was on this panel, I'd call AJ a fucking idiot throughout the
Oh
night.
no, I didn't see that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No,
No,
but keep it.
that's
Keep
not
it.
cool.
That's not
Keep
fair.
it. Keep it. All I'm saying is if you was on here, I would address you. I would respond accordingly. That's all there is to say.
That's not cool, Senior Nerd. We like
And
you,
then-
man. Yeah.
And then Anthony Cheeseman, Princess and the Frog, did the thing y'all always talk about, making a news story, no race swaps. Well, if Disney put out a crackhead movie with a black person, I'm supposed to like it simply because it's black. Can I not critique these things? I also said that she was a frog for most of her movie. I then also said that they did not check the box of her having actual animal companions that she was kind of raised with.
Yeah, we listen. Listen,
there's
everyone,
more than just create original black characters.
We have to have a level. We have to have a level of respect for guests, please.
Yes.
I didn't know. I apologize. AJ,
Max,
you're a
that's
guest here.
fine. No issue at all. I can't blame
No,
you
but
for
I didn't
something that
notice
the chat
that. Yeah,
does,
I didn't
bro.
notice
And you don't have to
No.
police them. These are grown adults. I'm just saying, I have no issue with checking people for talking my shit. It is what it is.
Right, but like Max is saying he's not okay with it.
No.
Yeah.
I feel you, but I'm saying, Max, you don't have to give on my behalf, not on my behalf. You don't give the extra. You don't have to give that extra.
I want
energy.
to. I want to.
Yeah.
I want to.
And
This
I
is-
appreciate that.
yeah.
I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate that. But I have no issue saying shit to people.
Well, I mean, listen. Everyone, calm down. This is where nerd.
No,
this
let
is
me
not.
come in. I'm telling you.
Okay.
Lucifer's in here.
Yeah.
Lucifer's in here. How can you ain't know? It's a midget screen. Lucifer, where you at? Lucifer's in here.
I don't think they hate my. I don't think they hate my
You're a
opinions because I'm
nerd,
black.
man.
I think they just do hate my opinions. I think that.
No, well,
that
this
just
is where the point. Listen, let's just calm down and realize what this is. This is the internet. It's not isolated to nerd talk. It's anything you disagree with anymore because you can you could get
People
your
gonna throw
opinion
shade
defended.
at you. It's no big deal, man.
When you hear someone's actual different opinion and they believe it, it's not acceptable, Rob. We have to get better about accepting different opinions. He has every right not to like Princess and the Frog. Every right.
It's just I don't know what race this person is, but that's just crazy to me that
They're Latino.
somebody say you need to like it because it's black.
No, that's
especially after I've
prejudice.
expressed.
I don't like that projection of like all black people have to like appreciate the same thing or think the same
fine.
thing.
Yeah.
That's a problem with me. Yeah.
Especially after I've expressed multiple reasons of why I don't like some shit. Even with this Mario movie, if I don't like it, it is what it is. People don't like it. My day don't stop.
Right.
But I give reasons as to why I don't like it.
I don't think he's saying that you should like it because the character's black. I think he's saying that because people complain about characters being race swapped. This was an original character.
Yeah.
He's saying in general, not just because you're
But then
black.
excellent point, Bruce. But then on that same note, though, even if you have a point there that they did an original character, it still should be executed great. It should still be a good story.
It should be a respectable black character, not
just.
Other people have different opinions that people really love that movie.
Not a fucking token black character. A character. What's the word I'm looking for? A caricature, or whatever the hell they call it. You know what I mean?
The only reason I verbalized, the only reason I audibly responded was because I couldn't respond in the chat. I would have just left it as just a comment, just me talking to them and not said something from the chat. We was doing the Grace Randolph. Again, I don't like to derail stuff, bro.
It was more impactful for you to verbalize it, so I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right. So
anyway,
I think we'll start wrapping it up because of
and the villain was amazing. Sinise, I love the villain. I think he was the best part of the goddamn movie. Everything else was trash. I sing that song on a day-to-day basis.
I like the movie. I think it could have been better though.
Right, there are aspects of it where they did do well, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot what we were talking about. Yeah,
Movie math.
This animation
Grace
stuff.
Randolph. And how I'm Grace Randolph with my Mario tape.
Oh.
But you didn't even mention that they had no competition, and that's why they did so well. That wasn't even one of your points of feedback.
I think Max was saying if you watch Grace's first review of the film,
yeah,
that's where he thought you were similar because she said similar stuff about no story, not in this video.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I did have some other stories, but it's almost at the 3-hour mark. People were very talkative today, and then people were like, also maybe it's the heat's getting to people. I don't know.
No, we had some very entertaining, knowledgeable folks on the panel.
Oh yes,
so,
yes. Thank you, AJ. Thank you, Claudia. Thank you, Cal.
Thank you,
Voltaire,
Kamikaze. Yeah.
Yes, thanks, Kamikaze.
Crazy Joe.
Yes,
Well,
yeah.
Wait a minute.
Okay.
Let's just break this down. I'm sorry. I rewatched Cape Fear the other night.
Okay.
And then that's the point where he's anyway. Let's just break this down. What does anybody in here have to do? It's on my end. It's 12. Make a wish. Kiss your mama on the lips. Whatever. Fuck, I don't know whatever.
For me.
It's 11:11 for me.
I have stuff to get done for tomorrow. That's for me. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Oh, before we end the stream, Max, I'll do my comic of the week.
Oh
yes. I always enjoy that.
Yes. All right. Ooh.
All right, whatever. I was just gonna say, what does everybody gotta do? Who gives a fuck?
Tomorrow's Monday morning, man.
Oh, Mondays! I hate Mondays. I have a mug that says I hate Mondays.
I'm so sad. I'm so sad Max doesn't do a show on Monday. I'm just like, I want to watch Max.
Yeah.
I'm very happy.
But I'll be doing a show on Monday, just to let you guys know.
Oh, right. Yes. Yeah. Other people are on. Yeah.
Yes,
I'll be on tomorrow.
I didn't know you had a channel.
That is
it Taladia?
Taladia. Yeah.
Taladia?
Yeah.
Okay.
One of my favorite books, the first appearance of He-Man.
I love Claudia. He never says anything.
Well, that's a fun one. Yeah.
Better picture. I'm bringing up a better picture here.
Okay.
I like his background.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
There you go.
I never knew this book existed. Wow.
Yeah, he first appeared in DC
Whoa,
Presents.
You own this one.
Yes.
Whoa.
in
Is
my
that
collection.
He-Man?
Yes.
Yeah.
Superman versus He-Man? Wow.
I never knew this existed either.
I never knew there was a Superman He-Man crossover. I know there was an Injustice one. But
Please tell James Gunn, please. Someone tell James
yeah, just keep Kevin Smith out of it. What's the value of this thing, Christopher? You know, I like to know that information.
I haven't checked in a while, but probably up 8, maybe 7, 900, somewhere around there.
Nice.
Oh wow.
I had no idea that ever happened.
That's
That's a really cool comment. Now,
a little kid would have lost his mind over this.
Are you going to share price?
Yeah.
I said between 7 and 900, depending on what's announced in the next couple of weeks.
Oh, okay. Was this your first crossover comic that you got?
No, my first crossover comic would have been
Batman Hulk.
No,
it
was the two most popular teams between DC and Marvel, which was Teen Titans and Justice League.
Okay.
I mean Teen Titans and X-Men. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Did you have that Batman Hulk one?
About the X-Men.
Which one? The Batman and the Hulk?
Yeah, Batman Hulk.
That was so many. I can't remember which one was my first. Anyway, I'm sorry.
I remember reading that as a kid. I just can't remember what book it was in.
Cal, is your mic scraping up against something?
Yeah. His mic is leaning against.
We're getting some mic feedback, Cal.
Yeah, but my favorite crossover is Justice League of America versus Avengers.
Ooh.
When Superman picked up Thor's hammer. Woof, great.
Yeah, we're anything we want to close off with while we wrap up at the 3-hour mark?
Oh no, thank you for watching. Get some rest, everyone, because you're gonna need it. For this week, we got the Star Trek Picard finale, we have Mandalorian finale, and what else is this week?
So Tuesday night, are you doing a watch along for the Mandalorian finale?
Yes, for both. I don't know how I'm going to do that with a work week. I have no idea.
Same. I'm going to stay up.
I don't know how it's going to work. But
well, it's worse for you. It's midnight for me, so it's not so bad. But yeah.
I'm 3 o'clock here. Jeez.
I have to see it, and hopefully it doesn't trigger me where I can't sleep. Mandalorian at the finale, like I'm like, oh boy. Hopefully I'll be able to handle the finale. And then we also have Little Movie Raptor appreciation stream Saturday. There's Abomination AJ.
Sub to his channel, please, guys.
Yeah. He does great podcasts every week.
Great. Thank you, Rhea. I make videos as well. I just haven't in a while. I feel guilty every time I say that. When people sub and they see like, oh, he hasn't made a video for a long time. It's like, no, stay, subscribe. One is coming, I promise.
I got on my channel. I've got Mikey Sutton coming up on my channel.
That's great.
Interesting.
We'll be talking about Dreamwalker,
nice,
and DC stuff too. So we'll be talking about that.
And every time when I sub to people or people sub, I say like, check out the content. Make sure the content is for you. I do that for other people. Like, don't just sub just to do it. Like, I want you to, be invested and actually like what I'm providing. So you guys that I signed to, Kamikaze and Taladia, I'm gonna be listening to your video, checking them out because I think YouTube takes the sub away if you don't.
Yeah,
I watch and interact.
Obviously, when I do my videos, it's basically DC Comics, video games, and sometimes I do TV shows reactions. And if I mess up somehow in live stream, I put it as a VOD, so people can get to see the reaction.
Mm-hmm. And I would have liked to hear more from you on the panel, man. I understand it was a lot of people though, but
yeah, it was a lot of people, so I don't want to be rude to other people.
I catch.
I'm trying to get. I'm getting your link before we end Abomination because we put it in there before, but
I put it as a star comment.
Star comment, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Strange Marvel Theories.
Yeah, Strange Marvel is a big support. Subs.
Okay.
Everyone watches their content. Yeah, like he engages like in a meaningful way.
Yeah. All right, good night, everyone. It's midnight for me, and the second Bud Light is wearing it, and I'm getting tired.
Bud Light?
Two Bud. You missed that part.
Here you go, AJ. Here you go.
No, I heard it earlier.
He bought an 18 brick. There you go. And it's been getting warm next to him, which I don't get. Like
a boombox.
Way to store
I don't put them all in the fridge. I put one or two at a time.
Okay.
This is gonna last me for a couple months.
You drink enough of those, your dick gonna start shrinking.
Uh-oh.
You're gonna have the Barbie pocket after a while.
Oh boy.
I'm just playing. I don't give a shit. I don't drink beer.
Okay. Was that before or after the controversy that you're saying that? I've never drank Bud Light much before.
After the controversy. It's just a joke, but
I get it.
No attachments whatsoever to
we were doing so well. We
have some people sensitive to that who watch. So
yeah. Okay.
I didn't say anything about it. I just said you're jokes for joke's sake. Not even.
Oh, you did kind of say something about it. I mean,
whatever people take away from that, you have no control over.
Yeah. All right, people.
I'm good with it. But,
good night. Listen. I can't. Whatever. Have a good night, everyone. Have a good night. I'm just. It's my fault for showing what I drank. Bye.
Bye.